Transmigrating into the Primordial Era, you become the very first member of the primordial human race. You are well aware that the human race is destined to be nothing more than a tool for the six sages to attain the Dao. They are fated to become mere puppets within the primordial world, manipulated by higher powers. To ensure the human Dao is not stifled by these machinations before it even manifests, you act. When Nuwa prepares to name the human race, you seize the initiative and name them first, causing her to lack the vital essence and providence required to attain sainthood. Desperate to reclaim her lost providence, Nuwa attempts to name you, but you proclaim your own name before she can speak. Unyielding, she proposes that the human race recognize her as their creator. Without hesitation, you present 3 conditions for Nuwa to swear a Dao vow. You declare, if you do not agree, the human race shall neither honor nor worship you, even if it leaves the heavenly Dao of the primordial world incomplete. Nuwa begins, I, Nuwa, hereby swear a Dao vow, if the human race acknowledges me as their holy mother, I shall... Suddenly, a bolt of heaven-severing divine lightning descends from the 9 heavens, striking directly at Nuwa's head. Simultaneously, the voice of Hongjun resounds throughout the entire primordial world. Silence. Hongjun has intervened, his thunderous roar instantly cutting off Nuwa's vow. Nuwa, the 3 pure ones, and the 2 sages of the West immediately kneel in reverence, calling out to their master. Countless great beings of the primordial world prostrate themselves, and even the beasts humble themselves upon the earth. However, you and the Wu clan remain the only exceptions. The Wu clan kneels only to Pangu, and you believe that your destiny is yours to command, not heaven. My fate is in my own hands, not that of the heavens. Hongjun ignores the rest, looking toward Nuwa as he says, Dao vows cannot be sworn lightly. You have narrowly avoided a grave error. His tone is calm, yet it carries a heavy undercurrent of rebuke. This disciple acknowledges her mistake, she replies. Indeed. Nuwa is shaken to her core, because in that very moment, while attempting to swear the Dao vow, she sensed an endless, terrifying wave of karmic retribution descending upon her, a burden so great that perhaps even a saint could not hope to escape it. Suyan, Hongjun's voice echoes, Nuwa, creating mankind to attain sainthood is the mandate of heaven. Why must you interfere? Hongjun's voice reverberates within everyone's minds, feeling as though a great bell has tolled deep within their souls. Hearing these words, you lift your head and stare directly at him. With his white hair flowing and his appearance exuding an air of transcendental elegance, you know that this old man before you is no paragon of virtue. Greetings, master of the heavenly Dao. Nuwa created the human race, but she also attained sainthood because of them. This is nothing more than an exchange of interest between Nuwa and the humans. It is a transaction of mutual benefit. Are these words from the master of the heavenly Dao not a bit excessive? For an instant, Hongjun's gaze narrows. You address him as the master of the heavenly Dao? In an instant, his eyes transformed into 2 golden beams, lashing out as if attempting to pierce through all existence. Yet in the following second, he furrowed his brows. Hongjun stood motionless, yet his primordial spirit had already entered the long river of destiny, seeking to uncover your secrets. However, the moment he made contact, Hongjun's expression shifted violently while still within the river of destiny. At the very moment Hongjun entered the destiny of the human race, a majestic power, reminiscent of mountains collapsing and seas overturning, surged toward him. Deep within the human race's river of destiny, the silhouette of a heaven-piercing titan manifested. In an instant, a pressure that overshadowed all else descended. High above, Hongjun was seen spitting out a mouthful of fresh blood. Countless supreme beings were struck with astonishment, forced to reevaluate the human race. Master, are you unharmed? His eldest disciple's expression changed drastically as he spoke in a rush. Hongjun slowly opened his eyes, took a deep breath and replied, I am unharmed. Yet in his heart, he was overwhelmed with shock. He was the Dao Ancestor, and yet he had suffered a backlash within the river of destiny, becoming entangled in the karma of the human race. This realization left Hongjun deeply unsettled. He is the Dao Ancestor. He is not meant to be stained by the karma of the Great Desolate. Hongjun's voice boomed like thunder as he continued. The human race was created by Nuwa. This is the heavenly principle. The act of naming the human race has already been snatched away by you. Let the position of Holy Mother be left to Nuwa. First, let Nuwa swear the great Dao oath. Otherwise, the human race will never acknowledge her as their Holy Mother. Suyan, do not be unruly, stepped your bounds. How dare you show such disrespect to your master? In an instant, Hongjun's 6 disciples were filled with rage, but they were halted by a look from Hongjun before turning their gazes towards Suyan. Of the 50 great Daos, 49 are manifest, with 1 hidden away. This leaves a glimmer of survival for all living beings. Suyan, you have already obtained what you sought. Why must you insist on severing this glimmer of survival for Nuwa? You are being excessive. Is this not too much? You laughed heartily and spoke. I merely wish to secure peace for the human race. As long as one's conscience is clear, what harm could there be in swearing the great Dao oath? Yet now you seek to obstruct it. Are you afraid to let Nuwa swear the oath? Could it be that deep down you truly harbor malicious intent? Your voice grew deafeningly loud. Suyan, Hongjun could no longer contain himself. This declaration had struck directly at his darkest secret. I am a saint. How could I possibly be scheming against you? However, you laughed aloud. Throughout the entire Great Desolate, you are the most calculating of all. Do you truly dare claim you are not plotting now? Who are you trying to deceive? In that case, let Nuwa swear the oath, or you may swear it yourself. The result will be the same. This is utterly contemptuous. Hongjun finally refused. As the Dao Ancestor, how could he be so easily manipulated? If that is the case, then an agreement cannot be reached. You spread your hands and continued to speak. Since none of you are willing to swear a Dao oath, do not blame me for overturning the table. You turned around and spoke in a booming voice to the Xiantian human race behind you. We are the human race. We must be self-reliant and stand strong. We do not kneel to heaven or earth, nor do we worship ghosts or deities. The path of the human race must be walked by the human race itself. The moment these words were spoken, thunder erupted across the heavens and even Hongjun's beard stood on end. Suyan, do you truly believe that I have no other options? However, you simply laughed aloud and replied, I believe you do, so feel free to try. But at most, it would only lead to Nuwa achieving sagehood. Hongjun gritted his teeth in fury. At this moment, he and Nuwa shared the same thought. Both wished to switch to a different race, but the foundation had already been laid, and it could not be undone. Hongjun's mind raced with calculations, attempting to secure the greatest possible benefit while the grand objective remained unchanged. After a long silence, he spoke, Very well, Suyan. The human race does not have to worship Nuwa as their holy mother. I entrust the civilization of the human race to you. You shall be the sage of the human race. As these words fell, you were stunned. Such a stroke of good fortune was unexpected. Countless great beings were shocked, and the 6 disciples of the Dao Ancestor were even more stupefied. Could it be that he had compromised? But Hongjun's next sentence nearly made you curse out loud. Of the disciples under my tutelage, you, as the sage of the human race, shall become my 7th disciple, and in the future you shall attain sagehood as the saint of the human race. Heavens, as soon as this was uttered, countless beings of the primordial realm were struck with wave after wave of astonishment. Damn it, you are truly formidable. You have actually secured the position of a disciple to the Dao Ancestor with the promise of future sagehood. In an instant, it seemed as if the entire landscape of the primordial realm was about to shift. Even the Sanqing, Nuwa, Jayin, and Junti had their expressions. Nuwa hurriedly shouted, Master, if the human race does not worship me as their holy mother, how am I to achieve sainthood? Be silent. Hongjun was also driven to fury. Was their sole purpose not to create humanity? That such a trivial matter could result in failure, and you still dare to justify yourself. He then turned to ask Chu DM, what is your opinion? However, you shook your head and replied, I find this arrangement unacceptable. Chu DM, enough. This venerable one has already conceded a step. What exactly do you still desire? Hongjun erupted in rage. Wind stirred without a breeze, and his Taoist robes fluttered violently. Hongjun, I have no intention of taking you as my master, nor do I wish for the human race to be pawns in your schemes. Unless you swear an oath upon the Tao, the human race shall never yield. Even if it means our complete annihilation, we will not retreat a single step. You spoke with such clarity and conviction. How could you not discern Hongjun's true intent? Once a disciple under Hongjun, would he not then be free to manipulate you at his whim? And this path to sainthood? Deceptive nonsense, an absolute farce. Hongjun bellowed, Chu Diem, time and time again you have tested my patience, perhaps I must punish you. Very well then, come, who fears whom? Driven by the necessity of the human race's future, you were resolute and refused to bow. Insolent wretch, Hongjun roared, pressing his hand downward. The terrifying aura of a saint exploded outward. A mere ant dares to defy me, today I shall erase your very existence. The power of the Heavenly Dao surged in an instant. While the humans of the Primordial Era remained unharmed, Hongjun was forced to retreat repeatedly. Consumed by towering rage, Hongjun cried out, Heavenly Dao, this being is an unnatural anomaly. He must be eradicated, lest the grand design of the Primordial Era be altered. As calamity loomed, Hongjun connected with the Heavenly Dao, and above his head a golden halo manifested. It was the Jade of Creation, bearing the immense power of the heavens. Countless great powers of the Primordial Era watched in astonishment, a mere ant daring to provoke the might of heaven. Chu Diem, you are far too naive. From the demon court, Dijun and Donghuang Tai looked on with ridicule. They gloated, a pathetic ant, ignorant of the vastness of heaven and earth, daring to dream of controlling the fate of the Primordial Era. Now that the master has taken action, this wretch is surely dead. Tai Ching chuckled coldly. It seems my destined path to sainthood remains secure. Yuanqi Tianzun narrowed his eyes at you. To defy the master, this is the inevitable end. Chu Diem, this is the mandate of heaven. Why do you persist in your folly? Tongshan stepped forward and spoke, Suyan, let us each take a step back. Achieving sainthood is the most pressing matter. I give you my word that if I ascend to sainthood, I shall certainly protect the human race. What say you? Suyan, you have heard Tongshan's words. I grant you one final opportunity. Refuse and do not blame me for erasing your existence. Hongjun's Jade of Creation radiated a brilliant light as the laws of the Heavenly Dao became exceptionally clear. It seemed that should Suyan say one wrong word, he would be instantly annihilated. You smiled faintly, looking toward Tongshan. Fellow Taoist Tongshan, you are too kind. I appreciate your good intentions, but the fate of the human race is of paramount importance. I cannot retreat. You then looked toward Hongjun and the countless mighty beings of the primordial world, took a deep breath, and proclaimed, either you swear a Dao oath that the human race willingly acknowledges Nuwa as their holy mother, or the human race would rather have their spirits extinguished than bow their heads. Not even by the slightest measure. As your words echoed, you held your head high in defiance, looking upon death as if it were as light as a feather. Very well, Hongjun bellowed, and the Jade of Creation descended in an instant. Suyan, since you refuse to yield, then I shall eradicate you. Hongjun unleashed the laws of the Heavenly Dao against Suyan, colliding instantly with the power of the Heavenly Dao. The clash between the two sides erupted with a terrifying aura. Nuwa, the three pure ones, Jian and Junti of the West, and the countless mighty beings of the primordial world all spewed blood at that moment as Su Yan faced death. Suddenly, the power of the Heavenly Dao was forcibly shattered by Hongjun. In that moment, you felt the breath of death upon you. If you want me dead, then come and take me. My primordial human race fears no death. You directly mobilized the providence of the human race, and relying on your command over that providence, you manifested a Dharma body. What? How can it be him? Hongjun's expression changed drastically. Above your head, a gargantuan phantom manifested from the human providence, the very same giant he had witnessed within the long river of fate. So that is how it is. This is the future will of the human race. This cannot be. Suo Yan, this creature must be destroyed, or the primordial world shall face grave danger. The jade of creation descended, pressing down with crushing force. Get out of my way. One could see the phantom surrounding you clench its fist, striking directly toward the jade of creation. You are taking a desperate gamble. There remains only a single lump of 9 heavens breathing earth, enough to forge only one being. The primordial human race has been born, and the Heavenly Dao has sensed your wager in this grand game. Gathering the essence of 100,008 humans to confront Hongjun, you bet everything that Hongjun dare not truly deliver a killing blow. As all of the human race simultaneously coughed up blood, your own vitality waned even further. Yet the jade of creation was sent flying. Hongjun also coughed up a mouthful of blood. Suo Yan, Hongjun spewed yet another mouthful of blood. Such is the price one must pay for shattering the protection of the Heavenly Dao. Countless great immortals watched this scene, rendered speechless by the sight. A mere ant, yet he dared to wound the Dao Ancestor. By the heavens, what manner of creature is this? Come then, come and end me. My life is mine to command, not the heavens. If the heavens seek to destroy me, I shall stake the destiny of the primordial human race. The humans shall determine their own path. Come, if you have the gall, strike me down. You laughed with a manic intensity. Though your aura was fading, your indomitable spirit remained unyielding. Suo Yan, you are insolent to show such contempt for your master. This is an act of utter defiance. Suo Yan, you wretched beast, you dare to defy the heavenly might. Will you not kneel and repent? Suo Yan, you disregard the heavenly mandate and harbor illusions of defying fate. This is your destiny. Will you not surrender? Yuanqi, Jieyin, and Junti were all enraged, condemning you. You dared to raise a hand against Hongjun. Beneath these heavens, who could possibly govern you? I must suppress your hypocritical facades. I am defiant, I do not respect the heavenly mandate, and I am a wretched beast. Well spoken. But you yourselves are no better. You unleashed your full fury, pointing directly at Taiching. So you are Taiching, the leader of the disciples of Zixiao Palace, are you? I despise you. You curse me as a wretched beast, but you usually hold yourself so high and mighty. Do you truly believe you are that formidable? Why do you not dare to engage Tongchen in battle? Why do you not dare to single-handedly challenge the Zhushan sword formation? A creature like you is nothing but a wretched villain. Su Yan, you tell me to shut my mouth. Why should I listen to you? You cannot sit still because your true colors have been exposed. Come here. If you have the guts, strike me dead right now. Do you dare? Damn it, if I have attained sainthood, what does it matter to you that you are jumping around so frantically? You clown, you directly berated Taiching, causing the entire primordial realm to erupt. Su Yan, you are insolent. How dare you speak to my eldest brother in such a way? See if I don't kill you. Yuanqi jumped out. The 3 pure ones are meant to be a single entity. Seeing Taiching being humiliated, Yuanqi could no longer sit idly by. But you immediately pointed your finger at Yuanqi. And you, I have not even addressed you yet. Damn it, since you voluntarily jumped out to be scolded, very well. I shall grant your wish. Yuanqi, you claim to be the direct descendant of Pangu, yet you turned your back on your heritage to learn the Tao of the Xuanmen immortals. You have brought shame upon the great god Pangu. If I were you, damn it, I would have drowned myself in a puddle long ago. Yuanqi was instantly so enraged that he was practically breathing fire. Su Yan, you are courting death. The Pangu banner appeared in his hand, but you did not show the slightest fear. Come here. If you have the courage, come and kill me. You are a man of narrow heart and profound envy. You look like nothing special, yet your thoughts are pretentious. Do you truly believe you are that formidable? You are deceitful and arrogant beyond measure. Su Yan, shut your mouth. You, a base and cowardly villain, act as the elder brother of Tongchen, yet you are not his equal in combat, nor is your talent superior to his. Your breadth of spirit is even smaller than that of a commoner. Are you not worthy of speaking to me? Su Yan. A mouthful of fresh blood sprayed forth, and Yuanqi staggered back several paces. You are arrogant beyond measure. Another mouthful of blood sprayed out, and Yuanqi collapsed, having been angered to the point of unconsciousness. This left the entire primordial realm stunned and speechless. Damn it, you are now capable of making a future saint vomit blood and lose consciousness just from your words. The primordial human race is indeed formidable. Su Yan, hold your tongue. Jayan and Zhanti of the West could no longer endure it and began to lash out directly. However, you retorted with a single sentence that left them completely speechless. Shut your mouths, you two scoundrels. I am not speaking to shameless individuals like you. Well said. Suddenly, a voice rang out. It was the demon Sir Kunpeng. Though he detested you, your words resonated deeply with his own sentiments. Are those two saints of the West not the very definition of shameless? A brilliant rebuke. I, Ancestor Ming, shall witness that Jian and Junti are indeed devoid of all shame. In an instant, countless powerhouses of the Primordial Era stood forth to speak out, infuriating Jayan and Junti to the point that they nearly coughed up fresh blood. Is that not the truth? Suyan, cease your slander. We are disciples of the Dao Ancestor, and future saints at that. How dare you cast such aspersions upon us? Do you have no sense of shame? Jayan and Junti were so incensed that their three courses trembled with rage. While these accusations were true, were they things that could be spoken aloud? Oh, is that so? If you claim I am lying, so be it. I had no intention of wasting breath on you. But since you two clowns sought out this humiliation yourselves, then I shall fulfill your wish. You two rascals forcibly seized the fortunes of others while indulging in deceit and fraud. You claim every treasure you see has an affinity with you. Why don't you run to the Zixiao Palace and tell Hongjun that his palace has an affinity with you as well? The primordial realm erupted in peals of derisive laughter, leaving the faces of Jian and Junti burning with a shade of crimson as if they were bleeding. Suyan, we value our reputation above all else. That is right, Suyan. Do not spread such malicious rumors here. Jian and Junti, why are you so flustered by his words? If so, do you dare to swear a Dao oath? If what I have said is true, may you two be scattered into nothingness, forever erased from the primordial realm. Do you dare? You do not dare, do you? But I, for one, dare. Hear me, all beings of the primordial realm. Today, I, Suyan, swear this Dao oath. Should Jayan and Junti of the West ever dare to scheme against the human race in the future, I, Suyan, the sovereign of the primordial era, shall raise their Western Taoist grounds and extinguish their Western lineage, or may my own soul be shattered. In an instant, the atmosphere reached its absolute peak. Silence. Tongshan let out a thunderous roar, his expression turning displeased as he spoke. Suo Yan, mind your tongue. Though what you say may be the truth, these are the disciples of my teacher. Your conduct is one of gross insubordination. Good heavens, all the sentient beings of the primordial world burst into laughter, showing no respect for Tongshan whatsoever. Tongshan, cease your nonsensical chatter. Were it not for the fact that you once spoke on behalf of the human race, I would have dealt with you long ago. How dare you? He scolded back directly. You were formed from the primordial spirit of Pengu, inheriting the merit of the world's creation. You were destined for greatness, yet you turned to follow the immortal Dao of the Xuanmen. This is the height of unfilial behavior. Of the three pure ones, you possess the greatest aptitude, yet you are being manipulated by others without even realizing it. It is no wonder your entire orthodoxy will be devoured by them in the future. Hongjun suddenly roared. I cannot allow you to continue. What seemed like a rebuke of Tongshan was in reality an attempt to awaken him. Fearing the implications, the jade butterfly of fate appeared once more. This time, the true manifestation of Hongjun had descended. Suo Yan, you have gone too far. Do not think that because you have gathered 100,000 members of the celestial race, this seat cannot slay you. I ask you one last time, kneel and pay homage to the Holy Mother or you shall surely perish. Hongjun could no longer sit idly by. He had originally intended to let Suo Yan vent his frustrations before negotiating, but this was no simple venting, it was the leaking of heavenly secrets. The moment Suo Yan attempted to awaken Tongshan, Hongjun received a stern warning from the Heavenly Dao. Because of those words spoken by Suo Yan, Hongjun caught a vague glimpse of something. Though it remained obscured, he was certain in his heart that this man, Suo Yan, knew far too much. Could he be a reincarnated chaos demon god? If so, then this is disastrous. A reincarnated chaos demon god becoming the first of the human race is absolutely unacceptable. He had already eradicated all other reincarnated demon gods previously. Either some chaos demon gods had fled the primordial world and perished, or others had submitted to the Heavenly Dao, but this Suo Yan before him was different. Suo Yan must— is that so? Then come and end me. Your soaring momentum and that recent tirade against the future sages were truly exhilarating. Your rebuke stirred the very foundations of the primordial world. Even the Wu clan heard it clearly. First, they applauded your brilliance, especially when you rebuked the San Qing, stating that they had abandoned the true legacy of Pangu and denounced them as unfilial. Those 12 ancestral Wu were overjoyed to the point of leaping for excitement. And let us not forget Ancestor Ming. Your outburst has exacted great vengeance for him, and now the laws of the Heavenly Dao are rapidly gathering in the firmament. Do you truly believe, Chu Ye, that I cannot kill you? A moment ago, I willingly endured a backlash to sever the protection of the Heavenly Dao from your primordial human race. Heavens! The moment these words left Hongjun's lips, the expressions of all living beings in the primordial world shifted drastically. It is finished. Is the primordial human race truly meeting its end? The Dao Ancestor has actually stripped away the protection of the Heavenly Dao from the human race. Does this not mean the humans are doomed to perish? Every individual wore a look of trepidation, and as you sensed the shift, you too were momentarily stunned. Indeed, the protection of the Heavenly Dao had been forcibly shattered by Hongjun. No wonder he had spewed fresh blood moments prior. That accursed Hongjun is truly ruthless. Indeed, the human race was born under the shield of the Heavenly Dao. Without it, that power remains unshakable. Yet, a variable has appeared, and the Heavenly Dao no longer wishes to shield the humans. Hongjun endured the backlash himself to break the Heavenly Dao's protection over the humans, all for the purpose of annihilating Chu Ye. Consequently, the Heavenly Dao did not inflict punishment upon Hongjun. Are you already afraid? You truly think of this too simplistically. Chu Ye, have you felt it yet? I shall grant you one final opportunity. Kneel before Nuwa, the Holy Mother, and you may yet become my seventh disciple, and in the future you may ascend as the saint of the human race. Otherwise, I have no choice but to erase your existence." The heavens transformed in an instant. On one side, golden clouds of merit illuminated the horizon, while on the other the eye of heavenly punishment opened wide. Half the sky was saturated with the aura of the world-destroying divine thunder. The eye of heavenly punishment has manifested. It is over. Chu Ye is surely doomed this time. The eye of heavenly punishment and the world-destroying divine lightning. Su Yan should surely choose to become the disciple of the Dao Ancestor. For after all, he could become a saint of the human race. He could later protect countless living beings from calamity. Tai Ching, Yuan Shi, the Westerners Jin and Jun Ti, and even Nuwa were all sneering at this moment. Su Yan, now that you know the severity of the situation, why do you not prostrate yourself yet? This is the consequence of defying the will of heaven. In the end, one will be destroyed by the world-destroying divine lightning, with one's soul scattered and body annihilated. That is correct. Master Dao Ancestor wishes to take you as his seventh disciple. Will you not hurry to kneel and kowtow in gratitude? One by one, they began to step forward. Ultimately, the grand trend remained unchanged. Tongtian looked at you, his mind a chaotic mess. You had insulted him, leaving him deeply unsettled, yet you were remarkably similar to him, especially in how your words were meant to awaken him. They truly stirred him deeply, though what the final outcome would be remained unknown. Could it be that I, Tongtian, truly made the wrong choice? Involuntarily, doubt began to rise in his heart. Su Yan, are you truly unwilling to submit? Hongjun's voice echoed throughout the primordial realm. You knew that at this moment, Hongjun possessed the absolute power to kill you, but you questioned if Hongjun truly desired you to be his seventh disciple. You would sooner die than believe it. He was surely seeking a way to eliminate you without causing damage to the primordial realm. I have no interest in your offer. Do you really think you can force me? Then by all means, try. Since you refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit, if you are so stubborn, then even if you will not kneel today, you shall be forced to. I will not kneel. As soon as Hongjun finished speaking, he grasped the golden clouds of merit and forcibly poured them into the human race of the primordial realm. In the face of heavenly merit, my human race truly does not hold it in high regard. You knew well that this heavenly merit could not be accepted. Once accepted, one would owe a debt of karma to the heavenly Dao. From that moment on, no matter how the human race evolved, this causal link could never be severed. The human race would remain implicated and even countered by schemes, unless the heavenly Dao itself were erased. In a fit of rage, the will of the human race instantly erupted. With a single punch, the heavenly merit was shattered, causing the expressions of countless primordial powerhouses to shift in shock. Heavens, that was the merit of the heavenly Dao. When Su Yan said he did not want it, he truly meant it. It was a pity, it was truly a great shame. That was merit capable of allowing one to instantly become a saint, yet it was scattered into nothingness. It was infuriating. Senior brother, this heavenly was originally fated to belong to us in the West. Yet look at what he has done to it. This scene left many onlookers filled with regret. Had you accepted this merit, you could have achieved the status of a human saint immediately. But you refused. What is a minor gain before your eyes compared to your true ambitions? What you seek are even greater benefits in the future. Su Yan, are you being insolent? Hongjun was so enraged he felt as though he might combust. That is right, I am indeed being insolent. What are you going to do about it? Hongjun could no longer sit still. He had originally intended to let Su Yan vent his anger before attempting to negotiate. But this was no longer mere venting. He was on the verge of revealing the heavenly secrets. Just moments ago, at the instant Su Yan awakened Tongdian, Hongjun received a warning from the heavenly Dao. Because of that statement from Su Yan, Hongjun caught a vague glimpse of something. Yet it remained indistinct. Nonetheless, in his heart, he was certain that Su Yan knew far too much. Could he be a reincarnated Chaos Demon God? If that were the case, the situation had become dire. Chaos Demon God reincarnated as the first of the human race. This was absolutely impossible. However, the previous tribulations had already wiped out those reincarnated demon gods. Either the Chaos Demon gods had long since departed the primordial world, no longer interfering with its destiny, or some of them had submitted to the heavenly Dao. But the Su Yan before him did not fit either category. Su Yan must either perish or be brought under his absolute control. Your aura soared to the heavens to scold the future sages so fiercely it was truly exhilarating. This rebuke of yours has stirred the very foundations of the primordial realm. Even the Wu clan heard every single word clearly. They applauded in approval, especially the moment you scolded the Sanqing, condemning them for abandoning their original orthodox lineage, and calling them unfilial. The 12 ancestral witches were ecstatic with joy. As for Ancestor Ming, your scolding has avenged a great grudge for him, and one could see the laws of the heavenly Dao rapidly converging in the sky above. Chu Yan, do you truly think this seat cannot kill you? Just now, I willingly endured the backlash of the heavenly Dao to strip away the protection it granted your primordial human race. What? As soon as Hongjun spoke these words, the entire primordial realm paled in shock. It is over. Is the primordial human race truly finished? The Dao Ancestor has actually nullified the protection of the heavenly Dao for the human race. Does this not mean the humans are doomed? Everyone wore expressions of deep anxiety, and after a moment of sensing the change, even you were stunned. It was exactly as expected. The protection of the heavenly Dao had been forcibly severed by Hongjun. No wonder he vomited blood just moments ago. This accursed Hongjun is truly ruthless. That is right, the human race was born with the protection of the Heavenly Dao. Without your interference, the power of the Heavenly Dao would have remained unshakable. But because variables have emerged, the Heavenly Dao no longer wishes to protect the human race. Hongjun deceived himself by enduring the backlash to shatter the Heavenly Dao's protection upon the humans, all for the sole purpose of annihilating Chu Yan. Therefore, the Heavenly Dao did not inflict punishment upon Hongjun. Are you afraid now? You think of yourself too highly. Chu Yan, do you feel it now? I shall grant you one final opportunity. Kneel before Nuwa, the Holy Mother, and you may become my 7th disciple, and in the future you may ascend to become the sage of the human race. Otherwise, I will have no choice but to erase you from existence. The sky transformed instantly. On one side, golden clouds of merit shone brightly, while on the other, the eye of heavenly retribution opened. Half of the sky was saturated with the aura of the world-destroying divine lightning. The eye of heavenly retribution has manifested. It is over. Chu Yan is surely doomed this time. With the eye of heavenly retribution and the world-destroying divine lightning, Chu Yan will surely choose to become the Dao Ancestor's disciple, will he not? After all, he could eventually become a saint of the human race, and in the future he would be capable of protecting his people. Countless living beings were filled with anxiety, while Taiching, Yuanxi, the Western duo Jain and Junti, and even Nuwa looked on with cold sneers. Suyan, do you finally realize the severity of the situation? Why have you not yet paid your respects to the saints? Suyan, this is the inevitable consequence of defying the heavens. You will eventually be annihilated by the world-ending divine lightning, your soul scattered to the winds. That is right, Master Delank intends to accept you as his 7th disciple. Will you not kneel and kowtow in gratitude? One by one they began to emerge, yet the greater trend remained unchanged. Feng Tian gazed at you, his mind currently in a state of utter turmoil. Your rebuke had left him feeling deeply unsettled. Yet you reminded him so much of himself, specifically your words intended to awaken him, had truly left a profound impact upon him. Whether the final outcome would be favorable or otherwise, however, remained shrouded in mystery. Could it be that I, Tongshan, have truly made the wrong choice? Unconsciously, a seed of doubt began to sprout within his heart. Suyan, will you finally submit or not? The voice of Hongjun echoed throughout the entire primordial realm. You knew that at this moment, Hongjun possessed the absolute power to slay you. Yet were you truly afraid? Did Hongjun truly desire for you to become his 7th disciple? I refuse to believe it even unto death. He is undoubtedly plotting to kill me while ensuring the primordial realm suffers no losses. I will absolutely not submit. Well, do you truly believe you can force my hand? So you refused the toast only to drink from the cup of punishment? Since you are so obstinate, today, whether you submit or not, you will have no choice. No sooner had Hongjun spoken than he seized the golden clouds of merit and forcibly poured them into the primordial human race. Faced with such heavenly merit, the human race under your guidance truly holds it in contempt. You know clearly that this heavenly merit must not be accepted. You know that accepting this heavenly merit would mean incurring a karmic debt to the Heavenly Dao. Once that is done, no matter how the human race evolves, it will be impossible to sever this karmic tie. By then, the human race would remain implicated, and perhaps even plotted against in return. Unless the Heavenly Dao itself is eradicated in a fit of rage, the will of the human race instantly manifested to shatter the heavenly merit, causing the expressions of countless primordial powerhouses to change in shock. Heavens, that is heavenly merit we are talking about. Yet Suyan said he did not want it, and so he truly discarded it. What a pity. It is truly a great pity. That was merit capable of allowing one to instantly attain sainthood, yet it has been scattered to the winds. How detestable. Senior brother, this heavenly Dao merit was originally destined for our Western sect. Yet it has ended up in this state because of him. This spectacle filled many with deep regret. If you had accepted this merit, you could have directly achieved the status of a human saint, yet you refused it. What is the value of petty immediate gains? You clearly desire far greater benefits in the future. Su Yan, are you being insolent? Hongjun was so enraged he felt as though he would explode. That is correct. I am being insolent. What can you do about it? Matters have reached this point, and the masks have finally been torn away. You no longer see any need to show Hongjun respect. Hongjun also realized that you must have seen through his schemes. With no further hope remaining, he moved to kill. If it has come to this, then go to your death. The world-destroying divine thunder roared. At this moment, countless great beings of the primordial era retreated in fear, yet you only laughed boisterously, appearing utterly deranged. Come forth, strike with even greater intensity. Hongjun, do you truly believe that the descent of the world-destroying divine thunder can erase me? You are far too naive. Suyan, since you refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit, I shall now scatter your soul and vanish your physical form. As the world-destroying divine thunder descended, countless creatures of the primordial era felt pity for Suyan. Taiching, Tongshan, Nuwa, Jain, and Junti. At this moment, they wore expressions of great joy. Suyan, this is the price one pays for opposing us. Suyan, it is you who has brought ruin upon the entire human race. You are the root cause of the human race's downfall. Suyan, to dare insult the disciples of the Dao Ancestor, this is your inevitable end. Each of them wore a different expression, their true natures laid bare with. Tongshan felt a sharp pang of heartache and deep regret, yet the grand destiny could not be reversed and he could only watch helplessly as you were erased. The world-ending divine lightning descended, and an aura capable of destroying heaven and earth erupted instantly. Suyan, go to your death. As you were on the brink of annihilation, you suddenly knelt in a certain direction. You knelt toward a specific point. What is this? What is Suyan planning to do? Countless supreme beings turned their gaze toward you, perplexed by this strange spectacle, for you had previously feared neither heaven nor earth. Why would you kneel at a moment like this? Hongjun was also stunned. Could it be that you had finally come to your senses? Yet, in the following moment, Hongjun felt his heart race. A sense of impending doom washed over him. Great God Pangu, I beseech you. Through your sacrifice, you cleave the heavens from the earth, creating this brilliant primordial world. Countless living beings remain forever indebted to you. Today, the human race faces catastrophe. I pray that you might intervene to protect us from such oppression. I, Suyan, the first of the primordial human race, having inherited the grace of great God Pangu, do hereby swear an oath the human race shall surely repay this debt. As these words fell, countless supreme beings of the primordial world were instantly shaken. Heavens, he is actually invoking the great God Pangu. Hongjun's heart trembled in fear as he watched you kowtow toward Mount Buzhou, begging the great God Pangu to deliver the human race. From generation to generation, the human race shall never forget the great grace of Pangu. You have revealed your trump card. This was your final resort. If this could not secure even a glimmer of hope for the human race, then you were content to accept your death. Suddenly, thunder shook the heavens, and the expressions of countless beings shifted. How could this be? Suyan is actually kowtowing to the great God Pangu. The living beings were left utterly bewildered. The 12 ancestral magi in the ancestral wizard temple suddenly rose to their feet, all of them staring toward Mount Buzhou, sensing that a terrifying aura had suddenly erupted. On Mount Buzhou, waves of ominous energy began to spread. Heavens, how could this be? Has Suyan truly managed to summon the great God Pangu? Why has it come to this? Could this truly be Suyan's hidden trump card? Why would the great God Pangu choose to assist the human race? Countless great experts of the Primordial Era were pressed to the ground by this terrifying pressure, unable to even move a muscle. Tai King Yuanxi and the others all glared at Nuwa, as if to say, look, this is the human race you created. Are you satisfied now? The 12 ancestral witches were also struck with astonishment. The Father God, it is truly the aura of the Father God. The human race has actually managed to summon him. If that is the case, then our Wu clan shall certainly lend the human race a hand. Indeed. At Mount Buzhou, the aura of Pangu erupted completely, instantly shrouding the entire primordial world. A terrifying law of strength burst forth in that singular moment. Hongjun spat out a mouthful of fresh blood on the spot and immediately collapsed to his knees. Tongshan, Yuanxi, Taiqing Nuwajian, and Junti had long since been pinned to the earth, unable to rise, and were forced to pay homage to the great god Pangu. Hongjun's face was twisted in terror. Jian and Junti had long been crushed to the ground, unable to stand as they paid their respects to the great god Pangu. Horror etched across Hongjun's face as visions of the great god Pangu slaughtering all directions flooded his mind. Deep within his soul, an indelible fear took root as he was forced to acknowledge the Father God. The Sanqing were rendered speechless, with Tongshan, in particular, filled with deep regret. They could sense the profound wrath contained within Pangu's aura. Deep within the chaos, those demon gods suddenly awakened, their eyes wide with terror. Impossible, it is the aura of Pangu again. Did he not already perish? Spitting out blood, these chaos demon gods, who had only just begun to recover from their past wounds, saw their bodies shatter once more in this very instant. In a flash, the eye of heavenly punishment was directly pulverized. This is dire. Hongjun's expression shifted violently, and the jade plate of creation immediately erupted with a blinding, terrifying radiance. Pangu, you are already dead. Why do you still interfere with the primordial world? A great roar echoed, but the only response was the overwhelming will of Pangu. Hongjun vomited another mouthful of fresh blood, as the eye of heavenly punishment could be seen cracking open. A single drop of golden blood seeped out, and the entire firmament was engulfed by Pangu's indomitable will. Vaguely one could behold atop Mount Buzhou, a phantom of a giant supporting the heavens manifesting, its eyes transforming into two beams of light that swept across the land, rushing forward as the phantom raised the great axe held in its hand. He wishes to sever the karma of the human race. This is dire. If you do not move to suppress Pangu immediately, you shall surely face destruction and the dissipation of your Dao. Hongjun roared, instantly shifting into his true form. The terrifying power of a chaos demon god erupted from his body. This roar echoed directly into the depths of the primordial chaos. Yang Mei the Great and the other surviving chaos demon gods heard it clearly. Deep within the chaos, a colossal willow tree manifested its true form. Countless willow branches surged forth, spanning across the void. In ages past, many demon gods remained hidden within the chaos. During the great war against the demon ancestor Rahu, beyond those entrapped by Hongjun, several others had managed to survive. Yet at this moment, they had no choice but to intervene once more. Fellow Taoist Pangu has already fallen. Why must you be so easily deceived? Fellow Taoist Pangu's path is shattered. Why do you remain so deluded? In an instant, the chaos demon gods descended upon the primordial world, while Hongjun, clutching the jade record of creation, unleashed boundless might. High above Mount Buzhou, the gargantuan phantom of a man looked to the heavens and roared, causing the entire primordial world to tremble. Hongjun's manifestation of his true chaos demon god form caused the primordial world to shake violently. Together with the other chaos demon gods, he confronted Pangu, but a single clash left Hongjun and his companions suffering miserable injuries. This Pangu is already dead, yet his strength remains this formidable. Fellow Taoists, hesitate no longer. Suppress Pangu or the primordial world will be shattered, and none of you shall have any hope of survival. This was a confrontation between the primordial powers of the chaos demon gods. The conflict was so cataclysmic that the Heavenly Dao could no longer intervene. The battle spread rapidly, and seeing that the primordial world was on the verge of collapse, Hongjun hurriedly cast the jade record of creation to shield the world. At the same time, a terrifying willow tree appeared across the heavens. The tree was vast, dwarfing the primordial world itself, as the other demon gods also revealed their true forms in an attempt to suppress Pangu's indomitable will. Seeing this scene, your eyes lit up. The opportunity had arrived. You turned to the 100,000 innate humans behind you and roared with all your might. I, Su Yan, the first of the innate humans of the primordial world, hereby declare to all living beings of the primordial world, today I, Su Yan, intend to sever the binding ties between the human race and Nuwa. From this day forth, the destiny of the human race rests upon my shoulders alone. Humanity. Suddenly, a bolt of purple divine lightning descended, striking you so fiercely that you spat out a fountain of fresh blood. At that same moment, Hongjun roared, "Today, the Heavenly Dao remains hidden, the celestial might is absent, and Pangu has been restrained by us. The Hongwang human race no longer has any protection. If we do not kill Chu Yan now, then when shall we act?" The voice, sounding like rolling thunder, instantly echoed within the minds of the disciples. "Chu Yan, forfeit your life." The first to riot was Nuwa. You had severed her path to becoming a saint, which is an irreconcilable blood feud. Nuwa struck first, aiming directly at you. Damn it, I had overlooked this factor. Your expression shifted. You had assumed that by summoning Pangu, you could rest easy, but it now appears your calculations were incomplete. After all, Pangu is merely a lingering will, whereas Hongjun and the others are still very much alive. What are you to do now? Could it be that the fate of the Honghuang human race truly cannot be altered? Seeing Nua's attack descending upon you, you grit your teeth and resolve, damn it, I will stake it all. With a single thought, you immediately gathered the providence and willpower of the 100,000 Xiantian humans, manifesting a phantom of a giant holding up the heavens. Come and fight. You used the momentum of the 100,000 Xiantian humans to contend against Nuwa. In an instant, both sides suffered grievous injuries. How can someone who is merely a mortal strike down junior sister Nuwa? How can this be? Countless supreme beings were struck with terror. Is this really just a mere ant? Hear me out. Fellow senior and junior brothers, lend me your strength to slay Chu Yan. The providence of the human race shall be shared among us. At this critical juncture, Nuwa decided to risk everything. Although her own share would diminish, it was still better than receiving nothing at all. As soon as these words were spoken, the eyes of Taiching, Yuanqi, Jian Junti, and the others began to glow with greed. Junior sister Nuwa, I have come to assist you. Suddenly, the Xiantian Supreme Treasure, the TG diagram, unfurled, immediately enveloping the 100,000 Xiantian humans and forcibly suppressing the providence of the human race. However, his expression suddenly shifted. Detestable providence is not vast, yet it is unexpectedly dense. Suppress for me. No sooner had he spoken, the golden light of the Taiji diagram flashed, causing you to collapse to the ground. Just as the words faded, another burst of light suddenly erupted. The Pangu banner erupted with power. Utilizing the primordial Pangu banner, I suppressed Chu Yan, suppressing the will of the human race as the Pangu banner bore down heavily upon the head of the heaven-supporting giant. You spewed a mouthful of fresh blood, grievously wounded, and before you could even react, Jian and Junti had already made their move. Senior brother, with such a rare opportunity, let us join forces to sever the connection between Chu Yan and the human race so that junior sister Nuwa may slay him. That would be ideal. The seven treasured Mao tree and the golden lotus of merit erupted simultaneously. Junior sister Nuwa, we have forcibly severed the connection between Chu Yan and the human race. If you do not strike now, when will you? On the shores of the East Sea, waves surged for 10,000 miles, and the 100,000 innate humans were pressed firmly against the ground at the foot of Mount Buzhou. The will of Pangu exerted all its strength to confront the chaos demons. The jade of creation erupted with even more brilliant radiance, suppressing the will of Pangu with unrelenting force. Infinite power of the laws erupted in a frenzy, and feeling as though it were on the verge of shattering, the expression on his face changed drastically. He immediately shouted aloud, "Nuwa, if you do not strike now, for what are you waiting?" The manifestation of Pangu's will cannot be suppressed for much longer. Following the roar, Nuwa reacted, instantly drawing forth the red hydrangea ball, hurtling it directly toward you. Chu Yan, it was I who created the human race. You dare to defy me and refuse to revere me as your mother? Today I shall annihilate you. Go to your death. The red hydrangea ball transformed into a projectile, closing the distance rapidly. Countless great beings witnessing this scene were suddenly struck with dismay. Could this truly be the end? In the end, Chu Yan was indeed no match. With a single blow, you were instantly sent flying. You vomited a mouthful of fresh blood, crashing to the ground with a resounding thud. It was fortunate that your body was forged from 9 heaven-breathing soil. Otherwise, you would have surely perished from the impact. Chu Yan, prepare to die. With your pupils dilated, you watched as Nuwa's second strike descended. You were filled with profound reluctance. Could it be that you were truly destined to die? I will not accept this. After a roar, you unleashed your full potential. Who says an ant cannot shake the heavens? Who says fate cannot be defied? Today I, Chu Yan, shall wage war against this Heavenly Dao. Even if I, Chu Yan, must face the destruction of my body and the dissipation of my Dao, I will still bring endless calamity upon you all. All human descendants, listen. With blood streaming from your 7 orifices, you sought to make one final stand, determined to use this broken body to leave a mark of self-strengthening for the human race. I, Chu Yan, the first of the Primordial Era. Here he proclaims to the primordial world. Here he awakens the human race. Here he awakens the human race, for the race to be self-reliant and independent, bowing to neither heaven nor earth. A mouthful of heart blood is expelled, which you immediately grasp within your hand. Then you roar loudly, I, Chudim, hereby swear a blood oath. If I live, I shall be the mentor of the human race. I will enlighten our people and surely lead them through every hardship. We shall strive for self-strengthening and cleanse all obstacles on the path to our rise. If I die, I shall transform into the soul of the human race, protecting our eternal peace. Let heaven, earth, mankind, spirits, and deities all bear witness. The blood oath seems to resonate within the netherworld. The drop of heart blood instantly transforms into a rune, etching itself into every member of the human race. This is bad. Stop him. This Chudim intends to use the blood oath to brand the souls of the human race. If this succeeds, as long as the human race survives, Chudim shall exist eternally. What? In an instant, countless great powers are shaken. This Chudim is openly laying a trap for the 6 future sages. Damnable Chudim, he's at death's door yet refuses to yield. He still seeks to cause trouble. Die. At the very moment Nuwa's attack descends, a golden dragon suddenly erupts from your body. In a fleeting moment, it sends Nuwa reeling backward. What is this? What could this be? Countless great powers are stunned as they witness this golden dragon circling above your head. Its terrifying might spreads, and in a mere heartbeat, it shatters the suppression of the Taiji diagram and the Pangu banner. Taiching, Yuanqi, Jayan, and Junti. Even Nuwa simultaneously vomits a mouthful of fresh blood. Damn it, what on earth is this? Hongjun, who is at Mount Buzhou suppressing the will of Pangu, also sees his expression change drastically. This is ill-fated. This is the golden dragon of humanity. The earthly path has not yet emerged. Why is the human path awakened so prematurely? Hongjun's face turns pale, for everything has spiraled beyond his control. No, the human path has not truly awakened. It is merely that Chudim's blood oath has forcibly spurted into existence. The phantom of the golden dragon of humanity appears to dim, yet Hongjun's expression remains one of deep agitation. The golden dragon of humanity shields you. Does this? As long as you do not perish, you shall surely be the future master of humanity, the true child of the human path. By that time, your status will be equal to his, the very child of the Heavenly Dao. This realization only strengthened Hongjun's resolve to see you eliminated. It must not be allowed. Chu Yan must die. He immediately sent a telepathic message. This is the projection of the human path's golden dragon, currently being forcefully awakened by Chu Yan. Destroy it at once, or all our plans will crumble and you will fall with them. Hearing these words, Nuwa and the others immediately understood. Senior brother Taiching, senior brother Yuanqi, let us join forces to suppress the human path's golden dragon. The Taiji diagram erupted with power once more, directly enveloping the phantom of the human path's golden dragon. The Pangu banner transformed into countless razor-sharp blades, severing the connection of the human path's golden dragon. Tongshan, what are you doing? Will you not strike now to sever the link between Chu Yan and the human race? Tong, you bastard, will you not take action? Taiching and Yuanqi shouted loudly. However, Tongshan remained motionless, his eyes tightly shut, as if contemplating something profound. How absurd. Tongshan, just you wait. Taiking gritted his teeth in fury and finally looked toward junior sister Nuwa, saying, I can only rely on you now. Chu Yan must die today. With a wave of his hand, the Shanhei Sheiji map appeared. Chu Yan, go to your death. Nuwa's attack followed immediately, striking directly at the target. However, at that very moment, 12 colossal figures descended from the heavens, falling like 12 shells, instantly leveling countless massive mountains along the coast of the East Sea. You dare to kill those whom we, the Ancestral Wu, protect? You are courting death! The 12 Ancestral Wu had manifested, each standing 18,000 li tall. What? The Wu clan has appeared. Damn it, why is the Wu clan protecting the human race? Nuwa, Taiching, Yuanqi, Jian, Zanti, and the others were all shocked. Why have the Wu clan emerged? This is troublesome. Get out of my way. With a single punch, a terrifying power erupted in that fleeting instant. The terrifying fist of the Wu clan instantly tore through Nuwa's attack. Nuwa spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, feeling herself entangled by an overwhelming amount of karmic retribution, leaving her both infuriated and distraught. Today was supposed to be the day of her sanctification, yet what had become of it? Not only did she fail to attain sainthood, but she was struck by lightning. Furthermore, the human race dared to resist, and now she had been beaten to the point of vomiting blood by the Wu clan, all while bearing the burden of immense karmic sin. The human race is under the protection of my Wu clan. Who agrees, and who dares to object? The 12 ancestral Wu transformed into 12 pillars of heaven, looking down upon the countless powerful beings of the primordial world. Upon witnessing the imposing aura of the ancestral Wu, you were filled with profound astonishment. These were the 12 ancestral Wu of the primordial era. Though their appearances differed, their presence was like a mountain range, truly magnificent and majestic. Your heart found its pillar of strength. With the ancestral Wu manifested, who would dare to provoke them? In an instant, Taiching, Yuanqi, Jie, and Junti, and even Nuwa retreated. No one wished to cross the Wu clan. The Wu clan inherited the merit of Pangu's creation of the world. They were, after all, his true descendants. Whoever dared to provoke them was surely courting their own demise. Countless powerful beings watched in stunned silence, convinced that doom was imminent for anyone who interfered. In that moment, the fortune of the Wu clan suddenly surged. Countless powerful beings stared, completely bewildered. How could this be? The fortune of the Wu clan was actually rising. By intervening to assist the human race, the Wu clan's fortune had ascended further. Meanwhile, the fortune of the demon clan plummeted for moving against the humans. What kind of race was this exactly? Countless powerful beings witnessed this scene and were left utterly dumbfounded. In the blink of an eye, many cultivators turned their attention toward the human race. Nuwa, in particular, appeared as if possessed. A race such as this must be brought under one's own control. Tai Ching's eyes gleamed with greed, not to mention those of Jian and Junti. Almost everyone realized that this human race was likely far from simple. Everyone immediately grasped the truth, realizing why the Heavenly Dao had protected the human race upon its inception. It turned out the human race was truly extraordinary. Though there were only 100,000 of them, their accumulated fortune was already this terrifying. If they were to proliferate unchecked, what would become of the order of the primordial human race? Every powerful expert understood why Hongjun was calculating against the human race, and why Nuwa had to be worshipped as a holy mother by the humans in order to attain sainthood. In truth, the potential of this race is simply too terrifying. Everyone understood that once Nuwa attained sainthood, as long as she did not court her own destruction, she would surely remain secure. Especially Hongjun, who, upon witnessing the fortune of the Wu clan surging at that very moment, saw his expression shift drastically. Everything had descended into chaos. The human race had actually joined forces with the Wu clan, and all his painstaking arrangements were being dismantled. Hongjun was filled with boundless rage, yet he could not bring himself to act. This cannot be. Today Nuwa must attain sainthood. Only then can the fortune of the demon race rival that of the Wu clan. The Wu clan dares to utter such arrogant words. Suddenly a voice resonated, followed by the tolling of a bell, which in an instant struck terror into the hearts of all living beings in the primordial world. Many weak, insignificant beings were struck dead on the spot by the sheer force of this chime. Donghuang Taiyi and Dijun appeared. The two three-legged golden crows blotted out the sky, their terrifying true sunfire scorching the primordial earth. Behind them stood the 10 great demon marshals of the heavenly court and countless experts of the demon race. Innumerable weak beings instantly perished, their bodies exploding. Even the seawater along the coast of the East Sea began to boil and evaporate. The shores of the East Sea were instantly reduced to a seething, vaporous haze. You of the Wu clan dare to strike at my demon race? Kill them all. Since ancient times, the Wu and demon races have been irreconcilable. As the 12 ancestral Wu appeared, the demon race was bound to reveal itself as well. One could see the sky being rapidly shrouded by the vast multitudes of the demon race. Their positions vaguely resonated with the 365 stars of the celestial sphere. The Zhou Tian star formation, the ancestral treasure of the demon race, had been unleashed. Donghuang Taiyi and Dijun stood guard at the two eyes of the formation. The Zhou Tian star formation is set. I, the Emperor, intend to wipe the Wu clan from existence in a single stroke. Children of the demon race, attack. The Donghuang bell tolled and boundless astral power erupted, surging directly toward the 12 ancestral Wu. Such vast arrogance, daring to dream of swallowing the Wu clan in one breath. You feathered and horned beasts, spawned from eggs, dare to challenge my Pangu lineage? Prepare to meet your end. An infinite surge of killing intent erupted. The 12 ancestral witches transformed into embodiments of malice, their murderous aura soaring to the heavens, the 12 divine fiends. The 12 ancestral witches unveiled their ultimate trump card. The 12 divine fiends formation was immediately activated. Suddenly, 12 pillars of heaven appeared from the four corners of the earth. A sky-piercing killing intent instantly engulfed the entire primordial realm. Even the heavens turned the color of blood. The demon race did not yield. Countless stars in the firmament erupted with brilliant radiance. Kill, kill. Both races roared in unison as the great war of the witches and demons erupted once more, and in an instant, the land of the primordial realm flowed with rivers of blood. Tai Ching and the others, seeing this, remarked, "The witch race is currently entangled with the demon race and has no time to heed the human race." At this moment, Nuwa and the others reacted. They declared, "Very well, this is a rare opportunity. I implore all fellow disciples to strike together. We must put Chu Yan to death at once." Agreed. Their magical artifacts erupted with frenzied power. The 12 ancestral witches saw this and gritted their teeth in fury. "You damn scoundrels. If it has come to this, then none of you shall live in peace. Brothers and sisters, the will of our Father God has awakened. Quickly consolidate the true body of Pangu. Let the will of our Father God descend to utterly crush these mongrels. Indeed, if we do not strike now, when shall we?" In an instant, within the Zhou Tian star formation, the 12 ancestral witches merged into one and a figure emerged from the void. After a thunderous roar, an even taller colossal giant appeared, as vivid as if it were alive. A figure emerged from the void. After a thunderous roar, an even taller colossal giant appeared, as vivid as if it were alive. The true body of Pangu manifested, its terrifying aura erupting. In an instant, the demon race felt as if their chests were being crushed under immense pressure. This is dire. Within the Zhou Tian star formation, Dijun and Donghuang Taiyi's expressions shifted drastically. Lock down the Zhou Tian star formation immediately. The will of Pangu has awakened. Once it senses the true body of Pangu, we shall undoubtedly perish. All members of the demon race burned their essence blood. In an instant, the entire Jotian star formation transformed into a solid, impenetrable curtain of light. The demon race is cunning, attempting to prevent us from communing with the will of our Father God. Ancestral Witch Dejong roared loudly for all to hear. Gather all your strength, break the Jotian star formation, so that our Father God may sense his true body. They manifested the true form of Pangu, aiming to annihilate the demon clan in a single strike. If the demon clan sought to eradicate the Wu clan, how could the Wu clan not wish to borrow the will of Pangu to crush their enemies once and for all? It could be said that both the Wudi and demon clans had staked everything they possessed in this battle. With a thunderous roar from the true form of Pangu, a terrifying power erupted in its entirety. A single swing of the axe descended, intending to pulverize the Jotian star formation. In an instant, the heavens and earth trembled. Countless demons were sent reeling, vomiting blood, while many others were reduced to mist on the spot. Nuwa and the others were left utterly stunned, their minds reeling at the sight. The fortune of the Wu clan was far too formidable, the demon clan was simply no match for them. If this continued, the demon clan would undoubtedly face defeat. Indeed, should the Wu clan emerge victorious, all our schemes shall turn to dust. The 12 ancestral witches had forcefully shattered the Jotian star formation, connecting directly to the will of their father god. Even the Jotian star formation began to falter and shake. Nuwa and the others could no longer remain idle. With the window of opportunity closing, they moved to strike down Chuyan immediately. As long as Chuyan falls, the fortune of the Wu clan will plummet, and they will certainly lose this war. The Taiji diagram, the Pangu banner, the 7 treasure tree, the Merit Golden Lotus, the map of mountains and rivers, and more, all appeared in this singular moment, surging forward with the intent to crush the human race of the Primordial Era. Chuyan, your time has come to an end. In an instant, the combined might shattered the willpower of the human race. All of them coughed up blood, thrown into chaos by the sheer force of the assault. However, Nuwa's offensive did not merely expend spiritual power, it pierced directly through the golden dragon of fortune, which had already grown dim and lusterless. Following a tragic cry, the golden dragon was scattered, returning to its dormant state. Nuwa suffered a backlash, yet she did not cease her assault. After all, this remained her only sliver of hope. Nuwa was struck by the rebounding energy, yet she did not falter. This, after all, was her only chance. Chuyan, die. In this moment, Nuwa cast aside all caution, wagering everything she had. As long as you are dead, as long as I can attain sagehood, then every sacrifice I have made will have been worth it. Seeing Nuwa descending upon you, you felt your entire body frozen, unable to move a single muscle. Is this truly how I am destined to fall? As the saying goes, man proposes, but heaven disposes. The Taiji diagram suspended above suppressed all your power, rendering you completely immobile. The Pangu banner severed your connection to the human race, leaving you to watch helplessly as Nuwa came for your life. Nuwa struck your body directly. However, the predicted outcome did not come to pass. On the contrary, one could sense waves of terrifying killing intent rushing forward. From the darkness, 4 great swords suddenly manifested, emanating an endless cutting aura. The Jushan sword formation is neither bronze nor iron, nor steel. It was once hidden beneath Mount Sumeru, refined without the use of yin and yang, and tempered without the aid of water or fire. The Jushan sword brings lethality, the Luxian sword brings demise, and the Xiangxian sword radiates a scarlet light that defies all logic. Even the great Luo immortals would stain their robes with blood in this hazy dark void, as if the sound of a haunting dirge began to resonate. You gaze upward to see the 4 gargantuan swords standing at the 4 poles of the Zhaotian star array, isolating this space entirely. This is the legendary Zhuxian sword formation. It is truly terrifying. This boundless killing intent is worthy of the Zhuxian sword formation, though it is a pity the formation map is missing. Nuwa, Taiching, Yuanqi, Jian, and Junti all had their expressions changed drastically. Zhuxian sword formation, Tongshan, what are you doing? With a roar of explosive fury, a figure emerged from within the endless sea of killing intent. Who else could it be but Tongshan? Tongshan, you have lost your mind. How dare you obstruct us? By doing this, you are severing Nuwa's path to sainthood. You are setting yourself against the Dao Ancestor. This is an act of rebellion against the Heavenly Dao. Taiching, Nuwa, Yuanqi, and the others were so incensed that their 3 corpses trembled, watching as their prey was about to be snatched away. At this critical juncture, Tongshan had intervened and activated the Zhuxian sword formation. In an instant, the 5 future saints and the human race of the primordial world were all sealed within the formation. Tongshan, cease this at once. I am your eldest brother. You wish to kill me, Tongtril. You show no respect for your elders. Withdraw at once. Taiching and Yuanqi became even more enraged. Yet you would side with a human? This is complete madness. Watching this scene unfold, you feel a profound shock. Tongshan had truly stepped in to assist, his eyes slowly lifted, calm and resolute. Since the human race has manifested, they must have their own reason for existing. All things in this world possess a sliver of vitality. For you to forcibly exterminate the human race is truly excessive. Taiching and the others were deeply shaken. It was clear that Tongtian was determined to protect the human race. Realization dawned upon them. Tongshan was steadfast in his resolve to aid humanity. They understood well that Tongshan possessed terrifying combat power, standing unrivaled beneath the saints themselves. Especially with the 4 swords of Zhuxian, he is the pinnacle of strength. Tongshan, you have lost your senses. The Master has issued a decree. Chu Yan must die, otherwise the primordial world will face endless calamity. Your actions are nothing short of defying the great Dao. However, Tong Tian merely shook his head. Defying the great Dao, I am simply following my own heart. 4 swords erupted with brilliant light, and a suffocating murderous aura surged forth completely. Human race, today I, Tongshan, declare that whoever among you refuses to accept this may step forward for battle. His battle intent ignited instantly. Taiching, Yuanqi, Jie, and Junti, and even Nuwa were on the verge of madness. You watched in shock, gazing into the clear, unwavering eyes of Tongshan, reflecting upon the words he had spoken moments before. Could it be that sect leader Tongshan had already grasped the true essence of his own philosophy? The Jai sect, all things in heaven and earth possess a glimmer of life. The Jai sect exists to seize that very sliver of hope. Who would have thought that this singular belief would allow Tongtian to achieve enlightenment so soon? At this moment, Hongjun held the Jade of Creation, joining forces with the Chaos Demon God to suppress the will of Pangu. The Wu clan fought with all their might against the Yao clan of the primordial world, beneath the array of the heavens and stars, and now the immortal execution sword array. It could be said that this conflict had escalated beyond control. The future sages had now entered the fray. Upon witnessing this scene, Hongjun was stunned. This damnable Tongshan dares to rebel against me. In an instant, hatred surged to the heavens. The human Chu Yan must die. You must kill Chu Yan. There is to be no error. Hongjun's telepathic command relied solely on his disciples. Taiching and the others saw that there was no turning back. Tongshan, I ask you one last time, are you certain you wish to oppose Yuanqi and me? Tongshan's expression remained unchanged. Spare me the nonsense. Either retreat or we fight. These words made Taiking's eyes burn red with fury. Very well. If it has come to this, the brotherhood of the 3 pure ones ends here. As these words were spoken, you were astonished that the 3 pure ones had reached a breaking point so early. Seeing this, Taiching looked toward Yuanqi, Jayin, and Junti and said, the 4 of us will move to stall the immortal execution sword array. Junior sister Nuwa, the task of killing Chu Yan is left to you. At this juncture, there was no retreat. The human Chu Yan had to die, otherwise these 5 future sages would never gain the slightest advantage. Once Tongshan protected the human race, his destiny and fortune would soar uncontrollably. The Wu clan was a prime example of this. I shall use the innate supreme treasure, the Taiji diagram, to block the immortal execution sword. The Taiji diagram in Taiching's hand transformed into the yin-yang fish, targeting the immortal execution sword directly. I shall use the innate supreme treasure, the Pangu banner, to pin down the immortal slaying sword. The aura of the Pangu banner surged, aimed directly at the immortal execution sword. Only then did Jian and Junti realize it was no longer the time to hide their true strength. Senior brother, leave the immortal slaughter sword to me. I shall handle the immortal trapping sword. The 7 treasured tree, the merit golden lotus, and various other dharma treasures appeared in a dazzling display. In that case, let us have you taste the true lethality of the immortal execution formation. The lethality. Countless sword beams erupted, and the coast of the East Sea was instantly transformed into a hellish landscape, overwhelmed by endless killing intent. Taiching, Yuanqi, Jayin, and Junti all underwent drastic changes in their expressions. The immortal execution formation is truly powerful. If this Tong Tian were to become a saint, would there even be any order left in the world? Jiayin whispered, Senior brother, perhaps this immortal execution formation shares a predestined affinity with our Western sect, or perhaps the killing aura of this formation is too heavy. Our Western sect would be unable to withstand it. We must deal with this with extreme caution. A single streak of killing intent from a sword beam lunged forward, piercing straight through Junti. Tong Tian, you have gone too far. Tong Tian, exerting the strength of a single individual against 4 future saints, directly shook the entire primordial continent. Is this truly the power of a disciple of the Dao Ancestor? Although they are all quasi-saints, the scale of this battle is simply not on the same level. Nuwa, junior sister, why are you still standing there? Kill Chu Yan, we cannot hold out for much longer. Nuwa snapped back to reality and once again lunged toward you. Chu Yan, there is no one left to protect you now. Pay with your life. Nuwa transformed into a streak of crimson light, charging directly at you. Nuwa, you dare. Tong Tian flew into a rage, unleashing the Qingping sword. He thrust it toward Nuwa while glancing in your direction. He transmitted his voice, Chu Yan, my powers Tong Tian is limited. I can only secure this single chance of survival for you. The rest shall depend on your own destiny. Many thanks. Nuwa's red hydrangea ball instantly intercepted the Qingping sword, while the map of mountains and rivers descended directly upon you. Chu Yan, go to your death. Boom! The entire East Sea coast trembled violently. Nuwa, do you truly believe you have already secured my defeat? Without 2 great innate supreme treasures to suppress the formation, let us see how you intend to kill me. From within the explosion of Nuwa's attack, a giant soared into the sky, striking out with a palm directly toward her. What? The combined will of 100,000 innate human beings was terrifying, catalyzing the destiny of the human race to manifest as a golden giant. With a single strike, it sent the Shanhe Sheiji 2 flying through the air. Nuwa, at this moment, your fury has reached its absolute limit. The golden giant expanded once more. Though it could not rival the 108,000 li true form of the ancestral witch, it still stood 1,000 zhang tall. What is the meaning of this? Why am I able to command the destiny of the human race so effortlessly? You were stunned. Could it be due to the golden dragon of destiny from before? But there was no time for contemplation as Nuwa descended once again. If that is the case, today I shall sever all ties between the human race and you, stripping you of the suppression from the two supreme innate treasures. You felt as though your Dharma power had become boundless. The entire golden giant erupted with a terrifying radiance. Having lost the suppression of the two supreme innate treasures, you felt as though your Dharma power had become boundless? The golden giant's entire body burst forth with a horrifying light, instantly illuminating the entire East Sea coast. Even the shimmering light of the Zhou Xingchen paled in comparison to the brilliance of this golden human giant. How could this be? The expressions of the 6 future sages shifted dramatically. Why have you suddenly become so formidable? Hongjun, fighting far away at Mount Buzhou, also sensed that something was amiss. Damn it, the human Dao Golden Dragon has indeed chosen Chu Yan. Otherwise, how could Chu Yan command the entire destiny of the human race at will? This is truly damnable. Hongjun was so furious he nearly vomited blood. You have already amassed such power. If you are allowed to continue your growth, then no living being in the primordial world will be able to calculate even a trace of your intent. In an instant, a murderous aura surged within Hongjun's eyes. Chu Yan must die. At the same time, Di Jun and Donghuang Taiyi, who were controlling the Zhoutian Xingdou Great Formation, saw their expressions darken. What is happening? The Zhoutian Xingdou Great Formation has been weakened. Brother, look quickly in. What exactly is he? Di Jun and Dong. A golden radiance erupted from the giant above, directly suppressing the Zhoutian Xingdou Formation. Damnation, this is the human race's destiny. Just how much terrifying fortune have they accumulated to dare squander it so recklessly? Di Jun was so infuriated he nearly suffered a cultivation deviation. This was simply too excessive. With the human race's destiny flaring up to weaken the Zhoutian Xingdou Formation, how is this battle to be fought? Suddenly, the Zhoutian Xingdou Formation shuddered violently. Di Jun and Donghuang Taiyi's expressions shifted drastically. This is dire. The human race's destiny is weakening our demon clan. The Wu clan's destiny is growing stronger. Their combat power has surged. The Zhoutian Xingdou Formation can no longer hold them back. What? Donghuang Taiyi's face paled as he witnessed the Pangu True Form descending with all its might. With the Zhoutian Xingdou Formation on the verge of collapse, he cast out the Donghuang Bell. The Donghuang Bell tolled, and simultaneously, the Pangu True Form struck the Zhoutian Xingdou Formation with a devastating blow. The Zhoutian Xingdou Formation trembled unceasingly. Countless members of the demon clan were blasted into dust, and the very foundations of the primordial world began to shake. Countless living beings could not keep their footing. Myriad mountains and rivers were obliterated. Boulders crumbled and rivers surged out of their banks. Massive tidal waves swept across the land. Countless species and spirits were buried. Countless grievances drifted across the primordial world, turning the land into a living hell. Suddenly, a faint cracking sound echoed through the void. Di Jun and Donghuang Taiyi coughed up blood simultaneously. This is bad. The Great Formation is shattering. Di Jun and Donghuang Taiyi burned their essence blood frantically to stabilize the Zhoutian Xingdou Formation. The 12 ancestral Wu watched this, their hearts filled with jubilation. The Zhoutian Xingdou Formation has cracked. One more strike. The formation will surely break, and the will of our Father God shall descend. A mere rabble of demons easily extinguished with a wave of our hands. Strike with everything you have. The Zhoutian Xingdou Formation is not merely a barrier. A group of insignificant demons. Strike the formation with your full combined power. This is not only a matter of survival for the human race, but also the ultimate victory for the Wu clan. Furthermore, it determines whether Pangu can finally escape the suppression of the Chaos Demon Gods. The Zhoutian Xingdou Formation oscillated ceaselessly, the cracks spreading further by the second. Di Jun and Taiyi poured every ounce of their power into stabilizing the Grand Array. Hurry, unleash the power of the stars. At this stage, we have no choice but to push ourselves beyond our limits. Once you are eliminated, everything will return to order. Within the Zhuxian Sword Formation, you exerted all your strength to resist Nuwa. The will of the human race erupted completely, and boundless fortune surged forth. Your Dharma body manifested once more to join the fray, a roar echoing throughout the entire primordial world. Your fighting spirit surged to its peak, causing Nuwa to become so enraged that she coughed up blood 3 times. They are future sages, yet to be matched by a mere ant is an utter humiliation. As matters grew excessive, Tongshan faced 4 opponents simultaneously on his own. Yet he began to falter. After all, he was contending against Yuanxi and Taiqing, who wielded innate supreme treasures, combined with the merit-based supreme treasures of Jian and Junti. It can be said that Tongshan is currently in a dire situation. He only hopes the Wu clan will swiftly shatter the Zhoutian Star Formation. Although you are the epicenter of this chaotic battle, the true key currently lies in the conflict between the Wu and Demon clans upon Buzhou Mountain. Relying on Buzhou Mountain, the will of Pangu, brandishing the heaven-opening axe, clashed fiercely against chaos demon gods such as Hongjun. Everywhere around Buzhou Mountain, countless mountains and rivers were leveled to the ground. Countless living beings dwelling near Buzhou Mountain were long since crushed into nothingness by this terrifying pressure. As Hongjun fought, he observed the primordial world, his heart burning with anxiety. Who could have imagined that a mere remnant of Pangu's will could be so formidable? Could the grand course of destiny truly be altered? At this moment, Hongjun felt powerless. Though Pangu had perished, his will remained eternal. As long as Buzhou Mountain does not collapse, Pangu shall not be extinguished. So be it. He had no choice but to destroy a portion of Buzhou Mountain first and proceed from there. Otherwise, Pangu's will is simply too overwhelming. Once the Jotian star formation is shattered, and Pangu's will merges with the Pangu true body, this battle will be concluded. Having spoken, Hongjun unleashed a palm strike, surging directly toward Buzhou Mountain. How could Pangu's will remain unaware of Hongjun's intentions? It moved to intervene immediately, but was a step too slow. Other Chaos Demon gods moved to obstruct it, and above Buzhou Mountain, a colossal hand descended from the heavens, tearing away a massive segment of the mountain. The majestic Buzhou Mountain suddenly slumped. Hongjun was also forced to endure a blow from Pangu, letting out a thunderous roar. Fellow Taoists suppressed Pangu at once. The Chaos Demon gods burned their life essence and primordial spirit, causing their cultivation power to surge instantly. At the same time, the 12 ancestral witches of the Wu clan each vomited a mouthful of blood. With Buzhou Mountain partially destroyed, the fortune of the 12 ancestral witches was also partially severed. Damnation! The 12 ancestral witches cursed in fury. Brothers, we must risk everything. Whether we live or die depends entirely on this single blow. Ignite the ancestral blood essence and forcibly shatter the Jotian star formation. Very well. Black baleful flames erupted upon the Pangu true form, burning with such intensity that even the soul trembled in its presence. Roar! The Pangu true form tilted its head toward the heavens and let out a deafening cry. A terrifying intent instantly saturated the Jotian star formation. Break for me. Burning with madness, the Pangu true form appeared to come to life, swinging its axe down with overwhelming force. A catastrophic explosion tore through the heavens. The Jotian star formation was cleaved in two by that singular strike. Along the coast of the Eastern Sea, a massive mushroom cloud erupted, followed by a cataclysmic shockwave that swept across the land. A tsunami 10,000 miles high rose from the Eastern Sea, surging deep into the heart of the ocean. Countless sea creatures were slaughtered, and the shock was so severe that it threatened to shatter the very foundations of the primordial world. Countless mountains and rivers were obliterated, the earth itself was razed, and not a single living soul remained along the eastern coastline. Suddenly, the immortal slaughtering sword formation disintegrated under the strain of the internal and external assault, ultimately failing to withstand the force of the Jotian explosion. Tongxin spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, his appearance turning haggard and drained. Taiqing, Yuanqi, Jian, and Junti all appeared in a wretched, barely recognizable state. The sheer terror of the shockwave instantly shattered the spirit and will of the human race. 100,008 humans vomited blood, and more than half of the human race's fate and fortune was depleted. Nuwa was struck so fiercely that her 3 flowers of essence nearly dispersed, and countless members of the demon race were utterly annihilated by the devastating blast. Donghuang Taiyi and Dijun were also gravely wounded. Had they not been protected by the fortune of the demon race, they would have surely perished on the spot. Suddenly, a roar erupted that left countless great powers in utter shock. A battered, colossal figure stood upon the shore of the Eastern Sea, struggling with all its might to remain upright. It was the Pangu true form. Heavens! Even after the Jotian star formation detonated, the Pangu true form had not yet collapsed. It is over now, the Pangu true form has held its ground, but the 12 ancestral magi have paid a price far too heavy. Not only has more than half of their ancestral blood essence been incinerated, but more than half of the witch race's fortune has also been squandered, accompanied by a significant depletion of the human race's own fortune. In an instant, before any living being could react, a terrifying aura erupted from the summit of Mount Buzhou. No, Hongjun shrieked, for a blood-red aura soared into the sky, the scent of the ancestral magi. Suddenly, Mount Buzhou erupted with flames that soared into the heavens. Burned his own will to ash, instantly crushing the flames of Hongjun and the other powers. Pangu sacrificed his will, immediately shattering the encirclement of Hongjun and the other chaos demon gods, forcibly manifesting the true body of the ancestral witch. No, Hongjun shrieked in agony as the world-ending divine lightning descended at that very moment. The entire sky of the primordial realm plunged into total darkness. It was a void so absolute one could not see their own fingers, yet within the gloom, a titanic figure could be seen wielding a single axe. His strength was flawed, but fortunately his physical form remained intact. With one hand gripping the heaven-opening divine axe, his eyes slowly creaked open. In an instant, they transformed into endless golden light, piercing through every illusion and false god. The Saint Qing fell to their knees in that very moment, but they were met only with a cold, furious snort from Pangu. The Sanqing immediately coughed up blood. Before Hongjun could even react, Pangu's gaze pierced through the river of destiny, instantly perceiving the future of the primordial realm, and in his fury he directly stirred the currents of that river. A thunderous roar echoed as gargantuan waves surged across the river of destiny. Hongjun was struck with terror. Pangu intended to forcibly alter the fate of the primordial realm. As Pangu struck, Hongjun threw caution to the wind, sacrificing his divine power and essence blood, burning his own primordial spirit. The jade plate of creation erupted with terrifying light, waves of Dao aura swathing the heavens and the earth, enveloping the entirety of the primordial realm. Fellow Taoists, lend me your strength. Following this furious roar, Hongjun disregarded all costs and plunged into the river of destiny. The other chaos demon gods also fought with their lives, as the infinite chaos outside the 4 corners of the primordial realm instantly detonated. Waves of chaos surged for billions of kilometers, triggering a cataclysmic battle within the river of destiny that caused the entire primordial realm to tremble incessantly. Streams of great Dao runes flickered. Countless living beings, unable to withstand such terrifying might, were instantly obliterated into dust. Above in the heavens, the eye of heavenly punishment appeared, and the world-ending divine lightning descended, striking Pangu directly. In a flash, the fortune of the witch tribe plummeted, and Pangu's physical vessel began to decay once more. Pangu, you have already perished. Why do you still linger? This primordial realm was created by your own hand. Do you truly intend to destroy it? Hongjun bellowed continuously. Look at your descendants, the witch tribe. If you continue to empower this true body of Pangu, the 12 ancestral witches will surely be annihilated because of you. Furthermore, the human race is now bound to the fortune of the witch tribe. Do you truly wish for mutual destruction? Both sides were gambling, and it seemed as though he had heard Hongjun's plea. Pangu looked toward you. From within the darkness, two streams of golden light shot directly at you. In that singular moment, your gazes met. In that moment, Pangu saw both your past and present lives. Likewise, you seemed to witness the entire life of Pangu, and, furthermore, you beheld the shift in the river of destiny that had just occurred. Suddenly, a sigh escaped Pangu's lips. Following that mournful sigh, Pangu's true form slowly began to rise, eventually reaching the height of Mount Buzhou, his eyes fixing upon Hongjun. Hongjun understood immediately. If he did not provide a reasonable explanation today, it was feared that Pangu would truly return to the ancient origins, and today's events would conclude in tragedy. Su Yan can serve as the mentor of the human race. From this day forth, each shall rely on their own capability, and you shall not interfere. Otherwise, I, Hongjun, will force a mutual destruction. The voice reverberated throughout the primordial realm, leaving countless supreme beings who heard these words in a state of shock. Could it be that you truly opened a path of survival for the human race? Tongshan smiled with a sense of relief. His interpretation of the Tao was indeed correct, yet Nuwa felt anxious. Teacher, be silent. Hongjun was infuriated, wishing only to glare at her and strike Nuwa dead. Look at what you have created. What is this? He forcibly suppressed his rage. Hongjun continued, in any case, Nuwa has added a new race to the primordial realm. Her ascension to sainthood is now a certainty. Pangu, I have taken a step back. Do not press your advantage too far. The two sides locked in a stalemate for a moment. Pangu's will slowly dissipated, but he turned his head once more to look at you. This gaze held too many meanings. Suddenly, Pangu's true form began to disintegrate, and 12 figures descended to the earth. As Pangu's true form vanished, the 12 ancestral magi manifested. Yet at this moment, the 12 ancestral magi appeared incredibly aged, as if their oil had run dry and their lamps were extinguished. This was the price paid for forcibly burning the ancestral blood essence to manifest Pangu's true form. Mount Buzhou stood grandly once more, but because a massive portion had been torn away by Hongjun, combined with the depletion caused by the burning of Pangu's will, the pressure emitted by Mount Buzhou had diminished significantly. Even so, it was still not a place that any insignificant creature could climb at will. The great waves of the East Sea had calmed, the tremors of the primordial realm had stabilized, and the chaos demons had dispersed. Only the endless chaos continued to churn with surging tides. Hongjun reverted to his Dao ancestor form, his complexion deathly pale and his breath erratic, yet he forced himself to endure. With a mere wave of his hand, the primordial continent was once again bathed in brilliant light, his gaze fixed upon you as if he hungered to consume you alive. Looking toward the Wu clan, the 12 ancestral Wu had suffered immense exhaustion. It was clear they would require time to recover and would be unable to stir trouble in the near future. Observing the demon heaven court, the 10 great demon commanders had fallen into a coma and countless great demons had been reduced to blood mist. Donghuang Tai and Di Jun appeared wretchedly aged, their combined fortune of the demon clan plummeting to the abyss. Turning to the primordial human race, every individual appeared utterly exhausted, their once astounding fortune severed in half. Yet, to everyone's astonishment, the fortune of the human race began to steadily rise once more. The demon clan was so enraged they nearly vomited blood. What manner of race were these humans exactly? Hongjun stepped forward and the golden light of heaven and earth shimmered. The primordial continent had suffered grievous losses in this war. No grand battles were permitted for the next 10,000 years as the land had been left in absolute ruin. The river of fate had been stirred even further by Pangu. This conflict had cast the future destiny of the primordial continent into total chaos. Humanity required time to recuperate, and furthermore, the fortune of the demon clan had already hit rock bottom. If the war were to resume, the demon clan would undoubtedly face total defeat. That would run contrary to the calculations of the Heavenly Dao. Nuwa had created humanity and possessed great merit for the primordial continent. Hongjun's words were final. The remaining half of the merit was immediately and forcibly poured into Nuwa's body by Hongjun. Taking advantage of the chaotic fate and the Heavenly Dao's inability to reorganize, Hongjun moved to solidify all variables. Thus, by the time the Heavenly Dao rearranged the river of fate, all these unexpected factors would be solidified as destiny. Even if you are an anomaly, once Hongjun orchestrates your path, you will ultimately become a fixed point, incapable of change. Suddenly, the golden light of heaven and earth shimmered. Lotus flowers bloomed in profusion, and the melodies of countless immortals resonated. Dragons soared and phoenixes danced, while Keelan appeared as harbingers of auspiciousness, as golden light of merit descended from the heavens to nourish all things. The aura surrounding Nuwa surged instantly, directly shattering the limits of the quasi-saint realm. With a single step, she entered the stage of a saint, her primordial spirit directly tethered to the Heavenly Dao. Congratulations, junior sister Nuwa, on achieving sainthood. Taiching, Yuanqi, Jieyin, and Junti all offered their regards. Congratulations, junior sister Nuwa, on achieving sainthood. Tongshan offered his congratulations as well, but he was met. Dijin and Donghuang Taiyi, being of the demon race, hurried to kneel in obeisance. Nuwa belonged to the demon race. Once she attained sainthood, the demon race would be protected by a sage. Indeed, the fortunes of the demon race, which had previously hit rock bottom, suddenly erupted with an infinite radiance. The luck of the demon race surged. Indeed, the fortunes of the demon race, which had previously hit rock bottom, suddenly erupted with an infinite radiance. Luck of the demon race surged. This left the great powers of the primordial world in utter astonishment. The luck of the demon race increased, directly surpassing even that of the Wu clan, and with a sage now suppressing their fortunes, the demon race had once again turned the tide. This scene sent the Wu clan into a rage that reached the heavens. They bowed to the sage as countless living beings of the primordial world prostrated themselves. The pressure of the sage enveloped the primordial world, though there were two exceptions, the Wu clan and the human race, both of whom refused to kneel to Hongjun. Since Nuwa had attained sainthood, she was even less inclined to kneel. As the golden light dissipated, Nuwa's attainment of sainthood allowed her to breathe a sigh of relief. After so many trials, she had finally become a sage. But immediately afterward, Nuwa's expression shifted drastically. Chuyan, you deceived me. It turns out the conditions you set before were all part of a scheme against me. Your audacity is boundless. It was only at this moment that Nuwa realized the truth. She understood why you had forced her to agree to 3 conditions earlier. You had intended to entrap her for an eternity. Once she had agreed, even as a sage, she would be reduced to a pawn of the human race. Although the heavenly secrets were chaotic and Nuwa could not foresee the future, she could now see the entirety of the impending catastrophe. Once she had sworn her vow, her fate was sealed. Even as a sage, she would remain firmly in your palm. You rose slowly and let out a cold sneer. Only realizing this now? And who are you to point fingers at me? You immediately interrupted Nuwa, who wanted the benefits without paying the price. In this world, Nuwa, how could such a convenient arrangement exist? Do you even realize what this is? You are trying to act the part of a saint while still clinging to your selfish desires. With a sudden movement, Nuwa raised her hand, intending to strike. Hongjun frowned in anger. Nuwa, cease. We have reached this point. How can you dare to raise a hand against him? Do you wish for the reappearance of Pangu? Hongjun also loathed you to the marrow of his bones. Who could have expected that this man would flip the table without saying a single word? It very nearly changed, pushing the primordial world to the brink of collapse, threatening to plunge this world into the immeasurable kalpa ahead of schedule, if it were even possible. Hongjun loathed you so much he wished to strike you dead with a single palm, yet he restrained himself and spoke to Nuwa. You have attained sainthood. Unless a major event occurs, you shall not enter the primordial world. You may establish your dojo beyond the 33 heavens, as you command, master. Hongjun then looked towards you and said, Chu Yan, you must also hold your tongue. Everything that transpired today was caused by you. Hongjun began to shift the blame, but how could you accept the burden of such immense karma? This has nothing to do with me. Could it be that you? This is an immense causal burden. It has nothing to do with me. Could it be that you are conspiring against my human race? And does my human race still have to thank you for this kindness? Chu Yan, are you being insolent? Before Hongjun could speak, the disciples under his command could no longer sit still. I am insolent, so what? Are you going to bite me? Hongjun's expression darkened, and he shouted for everyone to be silent. A trial was about to unfold. Hongjun hastily bellowed, then said to you, the great Dao encompasses 50, and the heavenly cycle manifests 49. One path is hidden, leaving a flicker of vitality for all living beings. Chuyan, you have secured this flicker of vitality for the human race. From this moment on, you may serve as the teacher of humanity to enlighten the human race. If you are willing, you may also enter my banner, becoming the 7th disciple, provided you do not alter the grand trend of destiny. Otherwise, I shall certainly bring down heavenly punishment. You let out a cold sneer. What a calculated scheme. You immediately retorted, the title of Teacher of Humanity does not need to be bestowed by you. I am of the human race, and furthermore I am the first of the innate humans. It is naturally my responsibility to enlighten my people. There is no need for your concern. Your aura remained unwavering. How could you not know what Hongjun was plotting? Although the title was the same, there is a fundamental difference between what one wins for oneself and what is assigned by Hongjun. Once you failed to refute him, it would signify agreement with his words, and you would inevitably be ensnared in his schemes again. You knew this crowd in the primordial world all too well. Each of them harbors 8 million hidden agendas. My own small schemes are mere child's play before them. Therefore, it's better to concede nothing and leave absolutely no openings. At the same time, these words directly severed Tai Ching's path to becoming a sage. Should you forcibly interfere with the human race, do not blame me for showing no mercy. I shall say it plainly, as for becoming your disciple, you are overthinking things. The human race of the primordial world is destined to rise like dragons, with a future beyond measure. Why would the mere status of a Dao Ancestor's disciple be enough to satisfy us? By what right do you, Hongjun, expect my people to become your disciples? You do not look like much, yet your delusions of grandeur are truly remarkable. Hongjun was so furious that his beard stood on end. How could he not realize that you were intent on escaping his control to become an unpredictable variable? Do you have a problem with that? If you are not satisfied, then let us fight once more. Your insolence caused Hongjun's 3 courses to tremble and veins bulged clearly upon his forehead. You knew for certain that Hongjun dared not spark another war, which is why you were so fearless. Hongjun, listen closely. The affairs of the human race shall be settled by the human race itself. Keep a tight rein on the disciples under your command. If any of them dare to harbor ill intent toward the human race, regardless of who they are, I will ensure their soul is scattered into nothingness. Even if they are a sage, it shall make no difference. Your words were resolute and final. Upon finishing, you suddenly turned your gaze toward Jiayin. Junti, you understand clearly that after the Lich War comes the investiture of the gods. These two, Jiyin and Junti, were the ones who bewitched the Emperor Star and insulted Nuwa. It was precisely this act that led to the humanity of the investiture of the gods to be schemed against, leaving the world without a human sovereign thereafter. Then you enunciated each word clearly. Even if it means we are both shattered like jade, I will not yield. The primordial world trembled as you spoke these words. Your infinite killing intent erupted. A aura of absolute death surged straight toward Hongjun, driving Hongjun to the brink of madness. He finally understood why Nuwa had been so tormented previously. Realizing that his own hidden thoughts had been completely seen through by you, he was forced to suppress his anger and nod in submission. Is that so? If you are truly so obstinate, then all the karma and retribution of the human race shall fall upon your shoulders hereafter. Reflect upon this carefully. The position of the 7th disciple of my Zixia Palace shall always remain reserved for you. Hongjun's expression remaining neither joyful nor sorrowful, though it appeared slightly pale as he had intended to turn every variable into a set destiny, yet it seems that the path ahead remains quite long. Very well, let us depart. Hongjun left these words behind and led his disciples toward Zixia Palace. Suddenly, as if possessed by some unseen force, you spoke to Tongshan. Fellow Taoist Tongshan, the Swaman path holds no future. It would be better to cultivate the great Tao of Pangu. You saw it just now. A single manifestation of Pangu's will reduce Hongjun to a pathetic state. Hongjun stumbled and fell hard to the ground. Hongjun turned his head, eyes wide with fury, and bellowed, "Chu Yan, hold your tongue." With those words, he flicked his sleeve and everyone vanished without a trace. Damn it, I actually thought you were going to do something. Turns out it was just a verbal curse. Do you truly think I am a coward? Watching Hongjun depart with Saint Nuwa and his other disciples, you finally let out a sigh of relief, while the countless great powers present also began to disperse. Yet each of them held their own secret calculations, for the Honghuang human race had caused such a terrifying commotion the moment they emerged. Even Pangu had manifested, and for the sake of humanity, he had even forsaken the opportunity to alter the river of fate. Great beings such as old ancestor Ming and Zhen Yuanzi began weighing their own schemes. Shu Yan, a frail-aged voice rang out. Looking back, it was Dijiang, the leader of the 12 ancestral magi, but Dijiang no longer possessed his former majestic aura, appearing instead as an old man nearing death, flickering like a candle in the wind. The vitality of the human race has been unleashed. Should you ever require assistance as you flourish, come to the ancestral Magi Temple. My Wu clan will protect you, even if it requires the sacrifice of everything we hold dear. These words stirred your heart deeply. Although their actions were driven by their devotion to Pangu, this remained a profound karmic debt. Many thanks. Once I've settled the affairs of the human race, I shall certainly come to pay a visit that is for the best. We have exhausted ourselves too greatly and cannot remain here any longer. We must return to the ancestral Magi Temple to recover. With that, the 12 ancestral Magi dragged their weary bodies and began the long journey toward Mount Buzhou. With every step they took, the earth trembled, a sight that left you in utter awe. As expected, even the aged ancestral witch remained formidable. With all the great powers departed, only 100,008 human beings were left, stranded and vulnerable upon the lands of the East Sea. A clansman let out a thunderous roar, his voice echoing across the horizon. You spread your arms wide and shouted. With a heroic aura, the spirit of the human race was displayed to perfection. We shall use this battle to let all living beings of the primordial world know the human race will not be bullied. A single glimmer of vitality has been secured for our race, but whether we can preserve it depends on your collective efforts. A golden phantom slowly manifested, and the fate of the human race began to converge. To all infinite living beings of the primordial world, listen well. I, Chudium, the first of the innate humans, now issue a proclamation to the entire primordial world. I, Chudium, shall be the teacher of the human race. Under my protection and guidance, the human race shall flourish. As long as I draw breath, I will ensure the rise of our people and sweep away every obstacle that hinders our progress. Even in death, my soul shall remain to safeguard the human race, ensuring eternal peace for all, heaven, earth, man, ghost, and deity alike. As these words were spoken, the fate of the human race surged instantly. Greetings to the teacher of humanity. 100,000 innate humans knelt, and the momentum of their collective fate began to rise. The previously exhausted fate was replenished in an instant. Greetings to the teacher of humanity. Throughout the primordial world, countless living beings knelt before you. Boom. The fate of the human race boiled over. In a mere blink of an eye, the fortune that had been depleted was completely restored. Congratulations to the human race for the birth of a teacher. Infinite powerful beings offered their congratulations one after another, though it was merely icing on the cake. Boom. The fortune of the human race broke through its previous limits, ascending to a new height. This was the glimmer of survival that the human race had fought to obtain. Now it was time to reap the rewards. Suddenly, at the foot of Mount Buzhou where the ancestral witch temple stood, a brilliant golden light erupted, illuminating the world for 10,000 miles in an instant. The fate of the clan increased. Indeed, it was as expected. The witch clan had sacrificed everything to assist the human race. Now that the human race had gained power, how could the witch clan not benefit? From this day forth, the fates of the human race and the witch clan are inextricably linked. Within this world, if anyone still wishes to threaten the human race, they would do well to reconsider. The Wu clan is an existence that even the sages would dare not provoke. Tiny, insignificant ants like them would never even dream of such a thing. The great powers of the Primordial Era watched with envy, their mouths watering at the sight. With such immense fortune, if it were bestowed upon them, would they not reach the peak of power instantly? Within the heavenly court of the demon clan, Dijin and Donghuang Taiyi were driven to the brink of madness upon witnessing this scene. Abominable, the human clan humiliates the demon clan too greatly, they roared, vomiting fresh blood in their uncontrollable rage. Previously, the human clan forced the demon clan to issue an oath, further severing the demon clan's opportunity to attain sainthood, and subsequently assisted the Wu clan in shattering the heavenly star's array, directly causing the fortune of the demon clan to wither. It was with great difficulty that Nuwa attained sainthood to suppress their fortune, yet the fortune of the human clan surged once more. Dijun and Donghuang Taiyi felt as though their faces had been scorched by a burning slap. Senior brother, this human clan shares a destined connection with our Western paradise. Jin and Junti were also overcome with greed, yet they dared not act, forced only to swallow their saliva in longing. Primordial Tianzun's chest heaved with fury. On what grounds did such a weak race possess such vast fortune? Nuwa was so incensed she could have vomited blood. Such immense fortune had been halved in an instant. Had the human clan acknowledged her as their holy mother, all of this fortune would have been hers, but you ruined it all. Now she could only receive a meager portion of the merit gained from creating mankind. This only caused Nuwa to hate you to the very marrow of her bones. No, this matter cannot simply end like this. I have already attained sainthood, I must reclaim what is mine. It is a pity that you could not hear these words. Otherwise, you would certainly have held them in contempt. If Nuwa had remained passive and refrained from causing trouble, she would have enjoyed the fortune of creating humanity for eternity. But by continuing to stir discord, she risked losing everything in her attempt to gain more. Off to the side, Tongshan felt a sudden clarity dawn upon his Lingtai. This was the fortune of the human clan. His expression shifted in great shock, for he had not expected to reap such benefits himself. That is right, he had sacrificed everything to deploy the immortal executing sword formation, and by aiding the human clan, he had forged a karmic bond with them. How could the human clan fail to repay it? Furthermore, this battle of the human clan only served to fortify Tongshan's convictions in his own teachings. Yet, could I have truly been mistaken? Boom. Suddenly thunder roared in a clear sky and endless golden light descended, surging straight toward you. This spectacle caused the expressions of countless powerful beings to shift in terror. How could this be? Suyan is already in such a state, yet the Heavenly Dao has descended to bestow merits upon him, and such a vast amount. This is even more than the merits bestowed upon the Saint Nuwa when she created humanity. Heavens, it is simply too much. This is even more than the merits bestowed upon the Saint Nuwa when she created humanity. Everyone looked on, their mouths watering with envy. But you let out a cold snort, mere Heavenly Dao merits. Yet you dare to act so presumptuously? It seems the words I spoke earlier. You have treated as nothing more than air. As these words left your lips, the countless powerful beings of the primordial world were struck dumb. What audacity! You watched as the golden giant above you suddenly threw a punch, shouting, "Disperse!" Rumble. The heavens and earth shook as that terrifying sea of merit was instantly shattered by your single blow, leaving all the powerful beings pale with shock. How could you dare? Boom! The sky immediately turned pitch black, dark clouds roiled as if they intended to strike you down. And you would not yield. The golden giant stood tall and unyielding between heaven and earth. The destiny of the human race shall be decided by the human race itself. We require no pity from others. Now that the human race has finally carved out a sliver of hope, accepting these heavenly Dao merits would render all our previous efforts futile. This so-called heavenly Dao merit is nothing but an opiate. The more one consumes, the more addicted one becomes, until eventually one cannot survive without it. Furthermore, it carries an overwhelming burden of karma. According to the calculations of the Heavenly Dao, once the human race accepts these merits, even a drop would be enough for the heavens to manipulate our fate until our destruction. After you finished your tour of the primordial world, you led your people to depart. Before leaving, you cast a glance at the final mound of 9 heavens breathing soil. After a moment of thought, you reached out and claimed it for yourself. The 9 heavens breathing soil, a treasure born of primordial chaos. Hongjun, I shall prepare a surprise for you. The shores of the Eastern Sea were left in ruins by this battle. Looking out over the desolate landscape of the Eastern Sea, you let out a sigh. It seemed you would have to head to Mount Buzhou after all. While the fortune of the human race is great, our strength remains insufficient. If the destiny of the human race is expended in every single conflict, even if humanity is the master of heaven and earth, they will eventually decline. This is not what you wish to see. Moreover, although the previous battle activated the human Dao Golden Dragon, it also severely damaged the foundation of the human race, requiring a vast amount of time to recover. The human Dao had already emerged late. This time it has been delayed even further. For a glimmer of hope for the survival of the human race, the human Dao Golden Dragon was forced to descend as a projection. Although a path of survival for humanity has been opened, the foundation of the human Dao has been wounded, and it is uncertain when it will be able to fully awaken. But fortunately, it still exists. Fortunately, we are still in the era of the Lich Tribulation. The sages have not yet fully ascended. With a bit of careful calculation, this loss can be mended. It appears that in this Lich Tribulation, the human race is destined to participate in the war. Withdrawing your focus, you wave your hand and set off toward Mount Buzhou. The primordial human race begins a great migration. In an instant, countless races are terrified and immediately retreat. Great powers witnessing this from all corners immediately issue orders to their subordinates. Under no circumstances are they to provoke the human race, and if necessary, they must even assist them. On one hand, they are truly afraid. The master of the human race is a madman. He is an existence that has directly participated in the battlefield of the chaos demon gods. On the other hand, they wish to foster a bond of goodwill. After all, the fortune of the human race is truly enough to incite envy in anyone. Thus, your journey proceeds smoothly, without any obstruction. Some races even proactively offer assistance, but you refuse all such offers. This is the first step of the human race entering the primordial world, as well as the path of their rise. It is a journey humanity must complete on its own. A sharp sword is forged through tempering, and the fragrance of plum blossoms comes from the bitter cold. Without cruel trials, how could the human race ever become strong? How else would they have the qualifications to master their own destiny? Within Zixiao Palace, the disciples are filled with towering rage. Teacher Chu Yan prevented this disciple from becoming a saint, and furthermore, caused this disciple to lose more than half of my fortune. I implore teacher to uphold justice. As Nuwa leads the outcry, although she has already attained sainthood, the resentment in her heart remains unquenched. Why did the human race which she created refuse to honor her as their holy mother? Especially when gazing upon the immense fortune of the human race, Nuwa feels even more bitter. It is clear to her that it all rightfully belongs to her. Taiking also spoke, Master, after junior sister Nuwa created humanity. I perceived that the fated opportunity to attain sainthood lies within the human race. Yet Chu Yan's actions are effectively severing my path to sainthood. I implore Master to discern the truth. Master Chu Yan has gone too far. He shows no respect for the mandate of heaven and holds us in utter contempt. Such a rebellious and traitorous wretch is unworthy of being your disciple. Yuanqi was also driven to the brink of madness with hatred. By what right does such a person sit as an equal to me? By what right, when I am the true descendant of Pangu? You are merely a common mortal. Your existence is truly infuriating, Jayan and Junti lamented in bitterness. How can the human race possess such immense fortune? This is impossible. Hearing the complaints of his disciples, Hongjun opened his eyes and swept his gaze across them. Hongjun spoke in a deep voice, enough. He then stated that the human race has opened a glimmer of vitality, that is their fated opportunity, and you need say no more. Hongjun was forced to swallow his own bitterness to utter these words, but the matter was settled and could not be changed. The river of fate in the primordial world is now in chaos. It will take at least 10,000 years to stabilize. During this time of upheaval, the primordial world also presents an opportunity for you to attain sainthood. After 10,000 years, all variables will solidify into destiny. You must seize this chance. These words were laden with profound meaning. Hongjun had hinted clearly enough. He continued, however, the greatest variable at present remains the human race. And Chu Yan of the human race is the anomaly among these variables. If the primordial world is to evolve and if you wish for your own doctrines to flourish, you cannot remain detached from this human race. Master, what do you mean? Yuanqi did not possess the deep foresight of Taiching, nor the natural talent and wit of Tongqin. Hongjun could only state that the human race of the primordial world is destined to flourish. This is ordained by heaven. But the appearance of Chu Yan has disturbed the river of fate, throwing it into uncontrollable chaos. Chu Yan seeks to transcend destiny itself, to escape the three realms and the five elements. Such actions will inevitably cause the primordial world to descend into the boundless calamity ahead of schedule. Gasp. As these words were spoken, the complexions of all the disciples sitting below changed drastically. Master, is there any way to resolve this? Hongjun replied, return all variables and anomalies to the path of predestination. Yet, upon hearing these, you have always sought to transcend destiny itself. Hearing Hongjun speak, Chu Diam condensed the fortune of the human race, bolstered by the collective will of his people, and swore an oath sealed with his own blood. By doing so, he triggered the resonance of the Dao of humanity ahead of schedule, unleashing the golden dragon of the human Dao. Chu Diam, barring any unforeseen circumstances, is destined to be the master of the human Dao. A profound silence fell. The weight of these words was immense, and everyone understood the implications. Master, this cannot be allowed. Under no circumstances can Chu Diam become the master of the human Dao. Taithane voiced his immediate opposition, while Nuwa, Tairen, Twin, Tiep Dan, and Xuanda followed suit. Once you become the master of the human Dao, every aspect of the human race will be under your command. Even if the Heavenly Dao wishes to intervene in the affairs of the humans, it would require your consent. Nuwa was particularly disturbed as she had attained sainthood only through the human race. If he becomes the master of the human Dao, I will be placed in peril, eventually falling under his control. Master, is there any way to subvert this? Golden light radiated from Hongjun's eyes. Seize the fortune of the human race to prevent Chu Diem from ascending. Turn every variable of the human race into an inevitable conclusion. Once that is achieved, all grievances will naturally be resolved. Of course, Hongjun left one thing unsaid, that 10,000 members of the human race must perish or be assimilated into your own doctrines. Everyone present drew a sharp breath. This remains a delicate matter, Master, for the fortune of the human race is now tethered to the Wu clan. To act against the humans is to entangle ourselves in the karma of the Wu clan. This disciple cannot bear such a burden. Disciples, the river of fate in the primordial world is in turmoil and will require at least 10,000 years to stabilize. During this era of chaos, you shall find your own opportunities to attain sainthood. After these 10,000 years, all variables will become fixed destiny. You must seize this chance. These words carried profound hidden meanings. Hongjun had hinted clearly enough. He continued, however, the greatest variable remains the human race, and Chudim of the human race is the anomaly among anomalies. For the primordial world to flourish and your own legacies to endure, you cannot avoid involvement with this race. Master, do you mean to say? Nguyen Thuy lacked the foresight of Tai Tan and the natural talent and wit of Thong Thien. Hongjun could only state that the rise of the primordial human race was inevitable. This was decreed by heaven. Yet the appearance of Chu Diem had thrown the river of fate into intolerable chaos. Chu Diem is determined to escape destiny, to break free from the three realms and the five elements. Such actions would undoubtedly accelerate the primordial era toward the boundless tribulation before its appointed time. The moment these words were spoken, the complexions of every disciple present shifted in alarm. Master, is there any way to resolve this? Hongjun replied, allow all variables and anomalies to return to a set number. Yet as soon as this was uttered, the disciples sensed that something was amiss. Your intention was to escape the predetermined fate? Hongjun continued, but Suyan has coalesced the fortune of the human race, endowing it with the collective will of the humans, and has sworn an oath upon his own blood, thereby triggering the resonance of the human Dao, releasing the golden dragon of human Dao. If no unforeseen disasters occur, Suyan will undoubtedly be the future lord of the human Dao. This revelation carried immense weight. Everyone present grasped the profound implications behind it. Master, this cannot be. Suyan must absolutely not become the lord of the human Dao. Taiching voiced his opposition immediately, followed by the sages Nuwa, Yuanxi, Jian, and Junti. Once you become the lord of the human Dao, all affairs concerning the human race will be dictated by you. Even if the Heavenly Dao wishes to intervene in the matters of humanity, it would require your consent. Especially you, Nuwa, I attained sainthood precisely because of the human race. If you become the lord of the human Dao, I would be in peril, as I would then be subject to your control. Master, is there any way to unravel this? Golden light emanated from Hongjun's eyes. Seize the fortune of the human race, prevent Suyan from becoming the lord of the human Dao, and force all variables of the human race back into the fixed order, then all these troubles will resolve themselves. Naturally, there was one detail Hongjun left unsaid. The 10,000 innate humans must either be eradicated or be absorbed into your respective Taoist lineages. Every soul present drew a sharp breath. This was proving to be exceptionally troublesome. But Master, the fortune of the human race is bound to the Wu clan. To move against the humans is to invite the karmic debt of the Wu clan upon ourselves. This disciple cannot bear such a burden. Each disciple voiced their own concerns. At that very moment, the river of fate began to surge with change. Hongjun intended to exploit this 10,000-year period of chaotic fate to exhaust every effort in forcing the human race back into a state of predestination. To achieve this objective, Hongjun did not hesitate to release the Grand Mist Violet Chi, calculating that the powerful beings of the primordial era would surely be consumed by envy, and that those desperate enough would strike. In doing so, he had effectively dug a grave for the Hongguang human race. At that very moment, in the blink of an eye, Tongshan realized he was already drifting within the chaos. A strand of primordial purple chi swirled within his grasp, yet his mind was heavy with contemplation. Could it be that he truly had to abandon the inheritance of the Father God? If he were to renounce it, he, Tongshan, would be failing his creator. Yet if he did not, the endless living beings of the Hongguang world would all be reduced to chaos, as this very world was forged from the physical form of the Father God himself. Lost in thought along the journey, he scarcely noticed how he returned to the Zixiao palace of the Honghuang. Hongjun observed all of this, the corners of his mouth curling into a faint, sinister smile. Chuyan, in the end, you have not escaped the palm of my hand. Time slipped away slowly, and in the blink of an eye, a century had passed. The great heaven human race continued their migration, their numbers growing ever greater. You relentlessly instilled the spirit of self-strengthening into the human race. Or to put it plainly, you were constantly indoctrinating them. At this moment, the entire human race acted with a singular will, until one day the foot of Mount Buzhou suddenly erupted with 10,000 rays of brilliant light. Countless great powers were startled by the phenomenon. Even Hongjun himself was moved. He looked on, his expression shifting drastically. How could this be? How had the human race become like this? At the foot of Mount Buzhou, a terrifying golden radiance suddenly shot straight into the heavens. Within the glow, the faint image of a dragon's sword. The entire Hongguang realm was shaken. What is happening? What has occurred? Innumerable great powers projected their divine senses to witness the event, and even Nuwa, the saint beyond the 33 heavens, saw her expression turn to one of profound shock. She looked down, witnessing the vast gathering of humanity at the foot of Mount Buzhou, and was immediately struck with envy. Damn it, that is a truly formidable surge of luck. In the span of a century, the human race had traveled far and wide, multiplying and thriving until they numbered in the hundreds of thousands. Among them were the old and the young, as well as pregnant women, yet the original 100,000 Giantian humans remained unchanged. They remained as youthful as ever, and it was little wonder why the Heavenly Dao sought to target these 100,000 Xiantian humans first. The human race possessed no ancestral treasures and held no supreme Xiantian artifacts, but they did possess the 100,000 Xiantian humans formed from the nine heavens breath soil. By their very nature, they carried the power to suppress the destiny of the human race. As long as those 100,000 Xiantian humans did not perish, even the human race's greatest therefore, the 100,000 human progenitors must either perish or pledge their allegiance to the sage. Above the heads of these hundreds of thousands of humans, a golden light illuminated the entire primordial world. Their destiny was truly formidable. Why has the destiny of the human race surged so abruptly? Heavens above, this destiny has directly surpassed that of the Wu clan and even overshadows the Demon clan. The Demon clan is guarded by a sage. Wait, no, look closely. The destiny of the Wu clan has also begun to soar, directly surpassing the Demon clan. All of this, countless powerful beings watched in utter shock. Within the ancestral Wu temple, the 12 ancestral witches were recovering their vitality when suddenly they felt a surge of immense power rushing into them. They felt their previously hollow bodies, much like a long drought meeting a refreshing downpour, being revitalized. The strength that had long since vanished was flowing back into their bodies once more. What is happening? My strength has returned. Eldest brother, you have grown younger. Is it true? The 12 ancestral witches were overjoyed, but suddenly the heavens and earth began to tremble violently. What is the meaning of this? Could the Demon clan be launching an assault? Go out and see what is happening. As you rushed outside, you were immediately struck with astonishment. The human race has arrived at Mount Buzhou so quickly, and it has not even been 100 years. Seeing the dense masses of the human race before them, the Wu clan was left stunned. During the great migration of the humans, the Wu clan offered their assistance, but you refused them all, claiming it was for the sake of tempering the race. Only then did the Wu clan step aside. Unexpectedly, in the span of a mere century, the human race has transformed so drastically. Similarly, Dijun and Dongwang Tai of the Demon Heavenly Court were so infuriated they nearly wept upon witnessing this scene. Damn the human race, I loathe the human race, and I loathe the Heavenly Court of the Demons. Dijun and Dongwang Tai longed to immediately slaughter the entire human race, as the human destiny was steadily suppressing the demon race. Furthermore, the destiny of the Wu clan was also soaring because of the humans. How could they possibly endure this? The human race must die. We must find a way to eradicate them, otherwise our demon clan will surely fall. Just as everyone was in awe. Suddenly, Tai Ching felt a tremor in his heart, and as a golden light flashed in his eyes, he realized his predestined opportunity had arrived. Suddenly, Tai Ching felt a tremor in his heart, and a golden light flashed in his eyes. The predestined opportunity has arrived. It is time for me to become a saint, and with that I transformed into a streak of flowing light, flying straight toward Mount Buzhou. Similarly, Hongjun's expression changed drastically. The fortune of the human race was too overwhelming, surpassing both the Wu and Demon clans in a single bound. This is unfavorable. The main variables of the Wu Demon calamity are about to shift. Heavenly Dao, lend me your strength. The Jade of Creation immediately transformed into the power of laws, joining forces with the strength of the Heavenly Dao to rush into the river of fate and suppress it. Once the fortune of the human race truly rises, the Wu Demon calamity will likely transform into an alliance between the humans and the Wu clan to strike down the Demon clan. In the end, the Demon clan would be extinguished, while the Wu clan and the human race would flourish. The result would not only fail to destroy Pangu's will or sever the causality of Pangu, but it would also lead to Pangu's rebirth. If that were truly the case, all of the Heavenly Dao's schemes would crumble into nothingness. Similarly, through the River of Fate, Hongjun also glimpsed the root cause. So that is how it is. The great migration of the human race is complete. All of this fortune should have belonged to Nuwa. What a useless figure she is. Originally, after Nuwa created humanity and protected them for 1,000 years, the fortune of the human race was meant to belong to her. Following that, Tai King would enlighten the humans and seize their fortune, then establish the human sect to completely suppress the human race's fortune, and afterward, the 5 saints of heaven would thoroughly stifle it. Thus, the human race would be dragged into the abyss. Finally, with the conclusion of the investiture of the gods, the human emperor would be reduced to a son of heaven, and from then on, the path of humanity would become a puppet of the Heavenly Dao. But at this moment, because of you, everything has changed. Within the Golden River of Fate, Hongjun exerted all his strength in a frantic attempt to suppress it, while the rules of the Heavenly Dao erupted with full force. Damnable, why is it so difficult to turn this human race into a fixed destiny? Hongjun also found the situation troublesome. His intent to immediately turn the human race into a fixed destiny was truly impossible to realize. So be it. I can only stabilize the situation first and plan for the future. A mouthful of essence blood was sprayed onto the Jade of Creation. Then Hongjun hurled the Jade of Creation directly into the River of Fate. Hongjun roared, "Suppress them for me." A tremendous force was brought down with coercive might. Only then did the River of Fate begin to stabilize. This caused Hongjun great heartache. This is truly enough to infuriate me to death. In order to suppress the fortune of the human race, I have been forced to sacrifice the jade of creation to hold it back. Su Yan, just you wait. Because of the effort to suppress this, Su Yan, just you wait. In order to suppress the destiny of the human race, Hongjun had placed the jade of creation within it, yet he could only stabilize the situation. He could not transform the human race into the number one power. At that same moment, the fortune of the human race stagnated. You spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. What is happening? The fortune of the human race has surged. I should have been growing stronger by the moment. Why is there such a stifling pressure in my chest? Your expression changed drastically. Could there be a problem somewhere? A dragon's roar echoed through the air, and you immediately understood. Hongjun looked toward the heavens and let out a roar, and you erupted with boundless killing intent. How could you not know that Hongjun was suppressing the destiny of the human race? A golden giant was seen rising from the earth. Break for me. With a single punch, you attempted to shatter the barrier and force your way into the river of destiny, but your efforts were entirely in vain. The human race had no saint, and the human Dao had yet to emerge. Filled with indignation, you slammed your fist into the ground with violent force, causing the surrounding 10,000 miles to tremble instantly. At that very same moment, a figure flew toward you with great speed. I am Tai Ching, the first disciple of the Dao Ancestor. Today I come to educate the masses. Your anger was instantly ignited and you flew into a rage. You roared, Tai Ching, you dare to covet the human race? You are courting death. You were so furious that you interrupted Tai Ching, striking down at him with a palm from the heavens. The terrifying fortune of the human race instantly erupted, and a pitch-black void was seen descending from the sky to strike him. This is bad. Tai King's expression changed completely. He had been so caught up in the moment that he had forgotten, only now remembering that the human race still possessed you, and he quickly attempted to dodge. But the fortune of the human race had truly erupted, and he was struck directly by your palm, crashing into the earth. Su Yan, stop this, he roared. Stop this! Your mother, you were looking for a place to vent your anger, and here was someone serving themselves up as a target. Furthermore, you understood the opportunity for Tai Ching to attain sainthood had arrived. If that were the case, the human sect would soon emerge. Does this not? Although the five sages of the heavens may seem disconnected from the human race, the truth is that they are deeply intertwined. You must never allow humanity to fall victim to their schemes. With that resolve set, you decide that Tai King must die. Instantly, a monstrous killing intent erupts from your body, manifesting as jagged lightning that coils around you. What is Su Yan intending to do? The killing intent is overwhelming. Could it be that he truly intends to slay Tai Ching? Damn it. Countless powerful beings of the Primordial Era immediately considered this possibility only to dismiss it. It is impossible. Su Yan is merely a mortal. How could he possibly succeed? He relies solely on his willpower and the fortune of the human race. Though the fortune of the human race is flourishing, slaying Tai Ching remains an impossibility. That is a man who carries the merit of Pangu's creation of the world. Indeed, Tai Ching wields the innate supreme treasure, the Taiji diagram, and is the personal disciple of the Dao Ancestor. How could he be killed by Su Yan? Countless Grand Masters speculated amongst themselves, but in the next second you provided them with an answer. You let out a roar, submit to me. The terrifying willpower of hundreds of thousands of humans instantly surged into a frenzy. A colossal golden giant rose from the earth, and in an instant an unfathomably terrifying killing intent soared toward the 33rd heaven. Even Nuwa, a saint, was shaken to her core by this harrowing bloodlust. Could it be that Su Yan truly intends to slay Taiguanshi, Tongtianjie, Junti, Nuwa, and even Hongjun? Everyone turned their gaze toward this location, witnessing the human willpower condense into a massive golden titan. The collective killing intent of the entire human race erupted, shaking the 9 heavens and 10 earths. You spoke in a deep, resonant voice, cease, and with a single motion you reached out and grasped the air. In the hands of the golden giant appeared a long spear, its entire body the color of fresh blood. The moment this spear manifested, the sky for 10,000 miles plunged into darkness. A harrowing, murderous aura radiated from the crimson spear. This is the god-slaying spear. How could it be the god-slaying spear? Sensing the soaring bloodlust emanating from the red spear, all the Grand Masters retreated in terror. That is the god-slaying spear, an object that spells disaster even for saints. Damn it, the god-slaying spear! Nua's expression shifted violently. Was it not said that after the conflict between the demon ancestor and the others, the spear had vanished? Why does it appear in your hands? No, this is not the god-slaying spear. Nongshan narrowed his eyes, his gaze piercing through the air like 2 beams of laser light toward you. Tongshan muttered in a deep tone, "This is a spear of carnage forged from the killing intent of the human race. It represents the manifestation of humanity's will to slaughter." As the master of the 4 immortal slaughter swords, Tongshan was far too familiar with such killing intent. As the master of the 4 immortal slaughter swords, Tongshan was far too familiar with such killing intent. What? The moment Tongshan uttered these words, the expressions of countless powerful beings shifted in alarm, instantly turning their gaze toward the Honghuang human race, and the result left them trembling. They saw that among the Honghuang humans, from the elderly down to the children, every pair of eyes was overflowing with killing intent. Looking at Tai Ching without a hint of hesitation, the entire race had clearly resolved to execute him. They saw you reach out a hand, grasping the human clan's spear of punishment, which transformed into a streak of crimson light, hurtling directly toward Tai Ching. You roared, Tai Ching, face your death. A thunderous explosion echoed through the void, and Tai King's complexion changed drastically. The next instant, you appeared before him, and he could feel an unprecedented aura of death enveloping him. It was too fast. The power of the spear strike sent Tai Ching plummeting clean toward the Hongguang land, waves of intense pain surging through his body. Su Yan, you dare to kill me? Tai King found it impossible to believe that you would truly dare to strike him down. If not for his innate supreme treasure protecting its master automatically, that single strike of yours would likely have pierced through his chest. Though he was not dead, that was the human clan's spear of punishment, carrying with it the boundless karmic debt of the human race. You stood proudly in the sky, radiating overwhelming dominance, declaring there is nothing I dare not do. Regardless of who you are, if you dare to set your sights on the human race, I will kill you without exception. Even if you are a saint, I dare to kill you. As the words left your lips, you surged forward once more. A flash of crimson light flared, and the next second you were 1,000 miles away. You bellowed, Tai Ching, pay for your life. Tai Ching shrieked, Taiji diagram. At this critical juncture, Tai Ching brought forth the Taiji diagram, instantly erupting in a blinding light to shield himself. As they collided, waves of terrifying energy dispersed in all directions. Tai Ching exhausted his cultivation essence, while you frantically burned the fortune of the human race. The two sides remained locked in a stalemate for a long time, leveling everything in their path. Endless, terrifying killing intent permeated the entire Hongguang realm. You roared, Tai King, go to your death. In an instant, flames ignited across your body. Behold, Su Yan is burning the very essence of the human race's fortune. Is he truly prepared to risk his life to take down Tai Ching? Su Yan actually dares to kill Tai Ching. He's truly a madman. The countless powerful beings watching this battle were all struck with terror. A clan that has existed for only a century, yet it possesses such terrifying eruptive power. Tai Ching roared, Chu Yan, you wretch. Tai Ching roared and immediately launched a counterattack. A horrific shockwave erupted, stirring up thick clouds of dust as he spat out a mouthful of blood, his body flying backwards for thousands of miles. Countless living beings witnessed this scene and drew a cold breath, seeing him wield the innate supreme treasure, the Taiji diagram. Tai Ching stood in an invincible position, his defenses impenetrable. Chu Yan could not hope to prevail. Wait, look, it seems Chu Yan has not yet given up. Every living soul turned their gaze toward him, only to see him burning the human race's providence with even more fearsome intensity. The god-slaying spear in his hand grew increasingly dark and bone-chilling. The aura of his spear burst forth, spanning hundreds of miles, pulverizing everything in its vicinity with its dread-filled killing intent. Has Chu Yan lost his mind? To exhaust the providence of the human race in such a manner? Does he no longer value his own life? A madman. They are truly a group of madmen. Countless great masters watched in terror, their souls trembling, their hair standing on end. This man is truly insane. No, that is not it. Suddenly, Tong Tian's expression shifted violently, transitioning from shock to profound admiration. Tong Tian exclaimed in astonishment, Chu Yan is indeed burning their providence, but the aura of the human race is becoming stronger with each passing moment. What could this possibly mean? What is truly happening? Tong Tian was filled with genuine admiration. Tong Tian sighed, Chu is truly a man of great will and great wisdom to be capable of such a feat, using providence as nourishment to temper the will of the human race. Chu Yan intends to forge a holy artifact slaughter for the human race. Once successfully forged, the human race will no longer rely on providence, for with the weapon in their hands, they will be able to carve out their own destiny. What could it be? Everyone began to contemplate a possibility they dared not imagine. In this primordial realm, everyone requires providence, even the sages require providence. Even a clan requires destiny to survive. Without it, they shall surely perish. Yet there exists one path that defies the need for destiny, a path where as long as one survives, they grow ever stronger, to prove the Tao through sheer force. These 4 words echoed within the minds of all present. Then, like a thunderclap striking the ear, the expressions of countless powerful beings shifted in alarm. In the Zixiao Palace, Hongjun was instantly struck with astonishment. Hongjun was both shocked and enraged. Damn it. Yan actually intends to tread the path of proving the Tao through sheer force. Once he succeeds, the primordial world will lose its rightful protagonist chosen by the heavens. By then, the entire cosmic order will be irrevocably altered. Hongjun could no longer remain composed. Once a member of the human race proves the Tao through force, there is no need to fear the sages. Once the Tao is attained, a single strike is enough to shatter the Heavenly Dao itself. Just as Hongjun prepared to intervene, he suddenly sensed something. If you are so fond of burning the destiny of the human race, then go ahead and burn it. You wish to walk the path of proving the Tao through force? It will not be as simple as you think. Across the vast primordial land, countless powerful beings were shaken by this spectacle, each of them left speechless. They had not expected him to be so decisive. If all the powerful entities have their sights set on the destiny of the human race, then you have chosen to burn it all away, leaving them with nothing to